After Yovani Gallardo learned of his trade to the Rangers, his thoughts turned toward home. Tonight, the Fort Worth native realizes a boyhood dream, pitching in Arlington as a Texas Ranger. In front of friends and family, Gallardo and the Rangers meet the Houston Astros, coming up next on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Rangers baseball is presented by AT&T UVerse TV. Now it is a warm, muggy, and cloudy night here at Globe Life Park. The Texas Rangers hope to hit up a storm tonight as they take on the Houston Astros in the second game of this three-game series. And welcome in, everyone, along with Tom Greaves, Steve Busby. Glad you could join us tonight. Good night for Saturday night baseball for the Rangers and the Astros. Rangers trying to get back on the winning side of things, and they turn to their now ace, Yovani Gallardo, making his first appearance in front of his home crowd.
Yeah, and I know this is going to be a big game for Yovani. You could tell when he was introduced before the ball game, got a huge ovation. A lot of friends and family will be here tonight to see him pitch in this ballpark for the first time. In his first start against the A's, he had pretty good stuff. He had a good sinking fastball. He had a good curveball. His problem was too many pitches out over the plate in the hitter's zone, and the A's really took advantage of that. Same stuff tonight with better command, maybe a little bit like Nick Martinez, and he'll be just fine.
There you go, and he's had good success over the years against the Astros, so I'm sure he feels a little more comfortable in this second outing. Well, we'll come back to Globe Life Park, the starting lineup, and the first pitch, the Astros and the Rangers, coming up right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Ford dealers. The EcoBoost Challenge is on at your Texas Ford dealer. Get to your best in Texas Ford dealer today. By AT&T UVerse TV. UVerse has more live TV channels on the go than cable. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. The Rangers just taking the field here at Globe Life Park. Game number 6 of this young season. Before we get things underway, let's head down to the field and check in with Emily Jones. Em?
Buzz, as you and Tom talked about, this is a day that Yovani Gallardo has dreamed about since he was a little boy growing up in Fort Worth. And what makes him even more anxious to get this start going on here tonight is the fact that he wants to better that opening day performance in Oakland.
I'm ready. Like I said, I think, I had plenty of time to work on the things that I had to work on between starts. And just like I said, obviously, first start of the year, you don't want it to be in that way, but it happens. The only thing you can do is take the positives and work on the things that you have to work on.
And I asked Yovani how many tickets he had to get for tonight's game. He said, I can't even keep track anymore. I tried to get a suite to make everyone as happy as I possibly can. But then he said, talked to him yesterday, he said, when I get to the ballpark tomorrow, I'm turning off my phone so I don't have to mess with it. Probably a very good idea, fellas.
Yeah, probably. Very smart man. He's been around the block a few times, so he knows how to handle things like this. Well, he's going to face a tough lineup tonight as far as how the Astros have hit against other ball clubs. Here's Tom Green with the lineup.
Yeah, the Astros, as they usually do, will go with Jose Altuve leading off at second base, followed by George Springer, the right fielder. Jed Lowry gets some time off today as the DH batting third. First baseman Chris Carter bats fourth. Luis Valbuena, looking for his first hit of the season, plays third base and bats fifth. Jason Castro, the catcher. Kobe Rasmus bats seventh as the left fielder. Shortstop Marwin Gonzalez is hitting eighth. And the center fielder coming off a nice game is Jake Marisnick.
So the Astros lineup under A.J. Hinch and Yovani Gallardo. The scouting report, we mentioned good numbers against Houston, 13-3 lifetime. Now this ball club has changed over quite a bit, but still a comfort zone pretty good for Yovani facing this ball club. He was a four-seam curveball pitcher for the first 6 years of his major league career. He has since gone to more two-seam fastballs, sinking fastballs, and also a slider, which he's able to throw in the strike zone more consistently. Not as many swings and misses, but more efficient as far as getting hitters out with fewer pitches. And that's exactly what Yovani has learned in his time in the major leagues. The 29-year-old from Fort Worth, Texas, ready to go to work. And Jose Altuve will step in at Bannister, hoping that the Ranger roller coaster evens out a little bit. Rangers due on that roller coaster ride for a win tonight. Yovani Gallardo and his teammates would love to have one. First pitch to Altuve is high and away. Now, Altuve is one of the guys that has not had much success against Yovani Gallardo, and there aren't too many pitchers around that we can say that about for Altuve. 4 for 19 against Gallardo. Beltre able to cut it off and fires to first for the out. Nice play by Adrian, who got his Silver Slugger Award prior to the game tonight. And he's showing you gold glove form right from the get-go. And we'll take a look at the rest of the Ranger defense, brought to you by the New Braunfels Convention and Visitors Bureau. Smolinski, the start in left field. Martin in center. Carlos Peguero, the start in right. Fritz Fielder at first. Odor and Andrus up the middle. Adrian Beltre at third, as you saw. And Robinson Chirinos is catching for Yovani Gallardo. And here is George Springer. A 71-degree evening here at first pitch. Humidity probably up a little higher than the temperature. It's a pretty sticky night, but a breeze blowing in from left center field. Sharply hit ground ball, but on 2 hops, Elvis on across. 2 gone.
Oh, good start for Yovani. Had a couple of fastballs out over the plate. The Astros drove him right into the ground. Anytime you start the game by getting Jose Altuve, you feel like you've had a great start to the ball game.
Yeah.
225 hits last year. He doesn't walk a whole lot for a little guy and a leadoff guy. He goes up there swinging, but he makes contact. He doesn't strike out very much. You get him and you feel like you're off to a good start.
No, Altuve and Springer out on ground balls to the left side. Now Jed Lowry, the switch hitter, handling the DH chores tonight. Lowry has 2 of the 3 home runs for the Astros this year. His first broke up a no-hit bid on Thursday against Cleveland. And of course he had one yesterday in that first inning against Derek Holland. The switch hitter takes a little bit low, a ball and a strike. There's Derek, talking to him before the ball game. He's very determined to get back to the Rangers as quickly as possible. It is going to take some time, though, and I think that he's going to find out that patience sometimes hard to come by, but with an injury like the subscapularis strain is going to necessitate some patience on his part. Tough thing for a 28-year-old to have to be shut down after all the work he put in coming back from that knee injury last year.
Yeah, especially 2 years in a row like that.
Yeah.
That's just kind of devastating for Derek. But it is, as they say, what it is, and you just have to deal with it. He knows that.
2 balls, 2 strikes is the count to Jed Lowry. Got him swinging. Good fastball up and in, and a 1-2-3 inning. So Yovani Gallardo off to a fast start. Nothing going for the Astros after a half inning. We are scoreless. Southwest Airlines starting lineup brought to you tonight by Tom Groove.
The Rangers will lead off Leonis Martin, and a new man will bat second in right field. Carlos Peguero just called up for the ball game. Adrian Beltre bats third, followed by Prince Fielder. Jake Smolinski gets the start in left field. He'll bat fifth, followed by the DH Mitch Moreland hitting sixth. Elvis Andrus at shortstop. Rougned Odor and Robinson Chirinos round out the lineup for Jeff Bannister.
In that lineup facing Roberto Hernandez, formerly known as Fausto Carmona, and also 3 years younger. He was discovered to have kind of run a little bit of an ID scam several years ago. Major League Baseball found out, made him change his name back. They also found out the man from the Dominican is 3 years older than they thought he was when he signed with Cleveland. Good sinking fastball, and he's had that his entire career. With Cleveland, he was an all-star against the Rangers. 13 games started, just 2-9 with a .547, but he has been better in this ballpark than those numbers would tell you. .426. the ERA. High pop-up, foul territory. Chris Carter just on the edge of the grass. One gone. So Leonis Martin out, and now Carlos Peguero. We'll take a look first at the Astros defense, brought to you by Steel. Outfield this evening for Houston. Rasmus in left, Marisnik in center, and Springer in right. You saw Chris Carter, the first baseman. Jose Altuve and Marwin Gonzalez up the middle. Luis Valbuena gets the start at third, and Jason Castro again behind the plate for the Stros. Carlos Peguero takes strike one, a non-roster invitee to the Rangers spring camp, and boy, he had a good spring, and came very, very close, as Tom told you, to making the club out of spring training.
Now, Peguero's a guy that the Rangers hope is a late bloomer. I think they hope that he's kind of like Nelly Cruz. He's always been a big power hitter in the minor leagues. He's had some opportunities at the big league level, but has had a little bit of a problem making contact. So a lot of talent, and it's just a matter of whether he can refine that talent and make some contact.
Colby Rasmus handles that slicing fly ball. There are two gone.
The Buzz, you're talking about Hernandez, who used to be Carmona, and he used to be 3 years younger. It actually works out pretty good for him, because when he was 3 years younger, it made him a better prospect. Instead of being 18, instead of being 21, he was looked at as 18. So yeah, he got the benefit of that age back then. Now he's 3 years older, and so he's going to be able to collect Social Security and his pension 3 years quicker than he would have. So he actually pulled a great scam.
Hadn't thought about that. That's a good point.
Instead of having to wait, I don't know what age he's going to collect his Social Security. He might not even know he gets Social Security. I don't know. Do you get Social Security if you're from the Dominican Republic?
I don't know.
And you earn money here?
I don't think so.
That's his next scam.
Yeah, could be. Although the way things are going right now, and with the setup for Social Security, they may have it in a few years.
Well, he'll definitely get a major league pension. In fact, with 10 years in the big leagues, he'll get a very generous big league pension that he will be able to get a little sooner than he would if he was 3 years younger.
I guess the key is he lost those 3 years. Does he pick up the smarts of 3 years too?
Yeah,
he's 3 years smarter.
No, he doesn't pick it up. He always had it.
Always had it.
Yeah, his age was just a number. He still lived 21 years, even though he said he was 18 at the time.
Beltre shoots one to right. That is down and going to the corner. Over to play it off, and missing it is Springer. So Beltre continues on around second, and he will motor into third standing. Now George Springer got tapped, and now the ball gets away. Beltre coming down the line will score. How about that?
Well, he deked him into a throw to third base, and he got away from him. There's a run for it. Should have been a routine double. Misplayed in the outfield, misplayed at third base, turns into a run for the Rangers. Was it a double? Was it a triple? I don't know. That same kind of a play was ruled a non-error a couple of times in Oakland when the outfielder was unable to come up with the ball. Cut fastball down and away. Nice job by Adrian, shooting it right down the line. It caroms by Springer. Don't know if that'll be an error or whether it'll be a triple. Let's see what happened at third base. Altuve to Gonzalez.
Faked everybody out.
It looked like Adrian got off the base a little bit on purpose to draw the throw and threw it away.
Yeah, Prince Fielder taps out, and that'll do it. But the Rangers, on the daring do of Adrian Beltre running around the bases, take a 1-0 lead as we go to inning number 2. Easiness, but before we go to the top of the second, let's welcome in Jim Knox. Jim?
I appreciate it, Buzz. Something new this season here at Globe Life Park, right outside the Captain Morgan Club. Every Friday and Saturday home game, former Ranger player greats will be signing autographs every Friday and Saturday night home games. Like, how about this evening? Hudge Rodriguez right outside here signing some great autographs. So every Friday and Saturday night home games right outside the Captain Morgan Club. Come check out the former Ranger greats. And these guys all decked out tonight. What's this all about?
Yeah, we drove 600 miles tonight just to cheer for Yovani Gallardo.
Turn around. Let's see it. Look at this. Buzz, Tom, Is that spirit or what? Guy needs a shave behind his back, man. Look at that guy. There we go.
600-mile trip, huh? Chris Carter leading off here in the top of the second. He is behind in the count to Gallardo at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Carter just an .067 average. And matter of fact, this Astro team came into yesterday's game hitting .096 as a team, and they upped that average to 154 with a 10-hit output yesterday. And Carter down on strikes. Gallardo with a good slider. That's his second straight strikeout.
Yeah, he's had a couple of good off-speed pitches. The slider, threw a nice changeup to Jed Lowry right before he struck him out on a high fastball. And the one thing that Yovani was not doing in Oakland was locating his pitches. The slider, curveball occasionally was up and out over the plate, and the A's took advantage of that. So far in this game, as evidenced by that slider, a little bit different story.
I'm gonna have to ask him tomorrow. That looked like it had cutter spin on it, where it wasn't really a true slider spin.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask him if he's throwing a cutter along with a slider, or if that's what he considers a slider.
Maybe we'll see something that's a little slower and breaks a little bit more, and then we'll be able to figure it out. Let's see.
Yeah, here's the former Chicago Cub, Luis Valbuena. That's out of play to the left. 1 ball and 1 strike. Valbuena last year had an outstanding year, a .435 slugging percentage, 7th among third basemen. Yovani. I'm not going to say he has a much better fastball, but he has much better location here in the early going.
Yep, that's for sure. Dad explaining baseball to the little guys.
Giving him some of the fine points.
Listen more intently.
This is where it's learned, huh? All right, Kubota power stats. How about the last 12 starts for Yovani Gallardo against Houston? He's 10-1, a .278 ERA. Almost 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. That stat will probably go down just a little bit, but he's got 3 here in the early going. He has struck out 3 in a row.
Another high fastball. You could tell he was trying to get Valbuena to swing at it after he missed it earlier in the count, and he did. Just like Lowry missed the high fastball, Valbuena missed it too. 3 straight strikeouts. Now he tipped it right into the glove.
Yep, sure did. Just barely tipped it. Chirinos hangs on to it. So 2 gone, and Jason Castro, one of the few Astros hitters that's had modicum of success. Off the end of the bat, easy play for Elvis near the bat. Good changeup. Very nicely done. Again, a 1-2-3 inning, this time with 2 strikeouts. 1.5 in the books. Rangers 1, Astros nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. The EcoBoost Challenge is on at your Texas Ford dealer. Get to your best in Texas Ford dealer today. A nice crowd out here on a Saturday evening. First Saturday night of the 2015 schedule at Globe Life. Seeing their Rangers get on top 1-0. And Jake Smolinski starting off the bottom of the second with ball 1. Jake still looking for his first hit, 0 for 6. Really going, came in yesterday in the 3rd inning when Shin-Soo Choo had to leave the ball game with the muscle spasms in his back. Take a look at our Ford leaderboard. Silver Boot Series. How about that 450 mark for Jake? And that's 100 points higher than Jose Altuve and Prince Field. 2-1.
Hernandez signed a minor league contract with Houston. Had a good spring training, 3-1, 3.71 ERA, and made their rotation. Always been a supreme sinker ball pitcher. You go back to 2007, he was 19-8 with the Indians. 2010, 3 years later, he made the All-Star team. It's been a while since he's been that good, though. Last couple of years, his ERA is over 4. He's 14-24. Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, and the Dodgers.
Twisting out of play down the right side. The count is now full. Well, I remember back in the 2009, 2010 time frame or so, maybe 2008. He used to throw hard. He had that 95 mile an hour sinker. Wow. Yeah. And he was tough.
Never, as a sinker ball pitcher, he's had dominating seasons, but never a lot of strikeouts. But he could knock the bat out of your hand back then.
Payoff pitch. And we'll try it again.
Spent 6 years with Cleveland, then a year with Tampa Bay. Last year he split the season between Philadelphia and the Dodgers. Pitched in 32 games, had 29 starts last year. The year before with Tampa Bay, he had 8 relief appearances and 24 starts.
Inside, ball 4. The appeal down to Diaz at first. No swing, and Jake Smolinski aboard with a leadoff walk.
That was a tough pitch to lay off of. Looked like it started on the corner and tailed down and in a little bit out of the strike zone. Jake started his swing, but was able to check it. Hi, Ranger fans.
Here's Mitch Moreland. Yeah, when we were talking with Dave Maggott and the Rangers hitting coach before the ball game about Hernandez, he said, what hitters have to do, what's so difficult to do, is you have to look in a different spot than you normally look for guys when there's a pitch you want to swing at. So you have to look out over the plate if you're a right-handed hitter, out over the plate and up a little bit higher than you used to. If you wait for something that you see that's down the middle of the plate, so by the time you swing at it, it's going to be down in your kneecaps and off the plate inside. So he said it takes a lot of discipline to when you don't see a sinker like that very often to look at the right spots. 1 ball, 1 strike. And let's go down and talk. Emily has some stuff about Jake Smolinski. Huh?
Good thing, especially for a younger player, to be so unaffected by the big stage that you've come into. So we saw him experience that success last year, and when you see him now being thrust into a different position with Ryan Rua going down, with Shin-Soo Choo being out of the lineup, he seems relatively unaffected by the circumstances around him, and it enables him, I think, to maintain a very even keel regardless of the situation that he's presented with. And I think his demeanor has a lot to do with his success here at the big league level.
Good point, Sam. And he and Ryan Rua had gotten to be pretty good friends, even though they were competing, trying to beat each other's brains out for the starting job in left field. Moreland, a drive to right center. That's in for a base hit. Smolinski will not stop at second. He's motoring into third, and the Rangers have runners at the corners with nobody out. That looked like a changeup or some kind of an off-speed pitch and stayed up, and pitch really drove it to right center.
I think it was a changeup, Buzz. Instead of the sinker, he took something off it. Ball didn't sink. Stayed up out of the plate. And Mitch hit it hard. That's one you hope you get a pitch like that. Up and out over the plate. Nice play by Marisnik in center field, who cuts the ball off, spins and throws a 1-hop strike to second base just in case the runner was going.
Good read by Smolinski. He was never hesitating once he saw that ball head out over the infield. Here's Elvis. He's going to push a bunt and is going to roll foul. Well, Elvis trying to get the run home any way that he could. That sacrifice, and actually trying to bunt for the base hit, but come back and try it again. Remember the other day in Oakland, Elvis bunted with Leonis Martin on, and after the ball game, Jeff Anderson said he was doing that on his own. That was just something that Elvis figured he could do to help the ball club. 0-1. Elvis a 150 average. Career against Hernandez, though, 353. Now down to the count, 0-2. Elvis just 1 for his last 14 times to the plate. Started the first several games in the number 2 slot, and Bannister moved him down to the 7th place and had Shin-Soo Choo up there in the 2 slot for a while until he got hurt. Call strike 3. Elvis questioning Jeff Nelson, the home plate umpire, but Nelson pretty emphatic about it. And that is out number 1.
Take a look at it. Looks like one of those pitches that you hope if you swing at it, you're able to foul it off. You're not going to do much with that. 90-mile-an-hour sinker that's barely touching the strike zone. I don't know a hitter alive who would have thought that was a strike.
Yeah.
But Jeff Nelson behind the plate, by the definition of the strike zone, called it right.
That is the first strikeout for Roberto Hernandez. Here's Rougned Odor. Ball 1. Rougned a 143 average. He has 2 hits. Both of them have gone for extra bases. 1 home run, 1 double. On base percentage is up near 300 because he's been hit by a pitch 3 different times. That tapper will roll foul. The count evens, and a ball and a strike. Odor just 21 years of age. It didn't take Rougned long last year to open some eyes. He joined the ball club in Houston, as a matter of fact, early part of May, and was thrust into the second base job, and he didn't miss a beat. In the dirt, nice stop by Castro. Sinker burying itself right behind the plate in the dirt, and Castro kind of staggering around, though, got the glove on him. Odor with his first major league home run against the Astros last year, the 12th of May against Brad Peacock. 2-1 the count. Chopper foul. Comes up and hits Rougned. Can't believe in the count now. Had a sellout crowd in the home opener yesterday of 48,885, and tonight looks to be, well, a low to mid 30s probably, maybe 35,000, 37,000. Weather cooperating, and hopefully it'll stay that way the rest of this homestand. We're good, wagging that bat back and forth as Hernandez sets. Rolled over to second base. Altuve to second for 1. That's all they'll get. In to score Smolinski. Odor has his second RBI, and the Rangers take a 2-0 lead.
They definitely didn't want to waste the first and third no-out opportunity. Fortunately, Rougned pulled that ball. If he hit that ball to Altuve or to his right a little bit, Altuve probably would have had time to turn it. But he hit it kind of right at him, maybe slightly to his left. He's playing him over to pull, and now he's going to get the force out, but very little chance of coming back with a double play. Rougned pick up an RBI on that.
The Rangers with a 2 spot now, 1 in each of the first 2 innings. Here's Robinson Chirinos. Chirinos also looking for his first hit of the year. He's 0 for 7. A couple of walks, though. This is his 4th start behind the plate. Rangers playing in their 6th game of the season. The chopper foul, 0-1. Chirinos coming off a year last year that he played 88 ball games. A career high for him. Set career highs in almost every offensive category. Did a great job behind the plate, too, handling the pitching staff, and he threw out over 36% of the opposing base stealers Odor drawing another throw. Talk about Chirinos making the move from an infielder to behind the plate. Basically a third baseman by trade prior to 3 years ago. 0-2 now. He has picked up the position, and arguably the most difficult position to play on the baseball field. He has picked that up very, very fast. And there are guys that spend 10 years trying to learn the craft of catching and never quite get it to the extent that Robinson Chirinos has. Now, I'm not saying that all catchers are smart, because that would go against my grain as a pitcher. Break out in hives when I.
Did you feel you were smarter than all your catchers?
No.
Are you afraid someone might be listening right now?
Yeah. No, you know, the guys that I worried about were the ones that thought exactly the same way I did. I didn't trust those guys. They were thinking the way I was thinking. That's a problem.
Yeah, you kind of want maybe a different point of view out there.
Yeah.
I guess though it must be something you would like to have a catcher on the same page.
Sure.
So that if he did call the same pitches.
The right field over to his right and in. Springer makes the catch, and that'll do it. But Rangers get a run on a hit and a walk. They strand one after two. Rangers 2-0. Rangers tickets. During the season now, the treasure chest will be filled with great deals on tickets or special seat locations for you. The current treasure chest special is good for $7 upper reserve tickets for the upcoming Angel Series. And that's this Monday through Wednesday. Visit TexasRangers.com/treasure chest to check out the deals today. Yovani Gallardo with a 2-run advantage with which to work. Bottom third of the Astros order here in the third. Colby Rasmus goes after the first pitch and skies one to shallow right. Guerrero, long run in, but plenty of time to get there. One gone. And let's go over and check in again with Jim Knox. Jim?
All right, Buzz, this was a scene before the game. The Fox Sports Fan Express rolling in from Fort Worth. That's right, a quick trip because on board former students at Trimble Tech. That's right, not only here to watch the Rangers, but a big night because why?
We're here to support class of 2004 graduate Yovani Gallardo.
There we go. Now, I understand 50 people, because it was packed on the bus. 50 people rode the bus, but much more in the stands tonight.
Yes, sir. We have at least another 200 people up in 336 and 337. All of us here to support our Bulldog.
There we go. Way to go. All right, good to have you out here. Let's continue to cheer them on, okay?
All right. Thank you.
The little girl sleeping all the way through that noise.
Tough bus ride over here. He wears you out.
Yes.
That travel. Marwin Gonzalez, the switch hitter up there from the left side, playing shortstop tonight. Gallardo's pitch in at the knees, and it is 0-2.
Ronnie's got 7 outs, 3 strikeouts. He's only thrown 22 pitches.
It's pretty efficient, huh?
That was very efficient.
Gallardo back to the plate. Marwin Gonzalez thought about offering, but that ball bouncing a few feet out in front of home plate. It's 1-2.
It was a nice job by Chirinos to block that ball, because if he did fail to check his swing on it, he would have been able to pounce on that and throw him out at first base. That was not an easy pitch to block. A curveball bounced out in front of home plate. Really nice job by Robinson. I don't know what you're talking about, Buzz, learning that position.
That ball's hit well to right field. Guerrero is going back. He is looking up. That ball is gone. Marwin Gonzalez got one up, out over the plate, and drove it into the seats to cut the Ranger lead in half. It's now 2-1.
Marwin Gonzalez, first at bat of the season. First guy to hit that high fastball. Well, he came back a little bit toward the middle of the plate. You see the point of contact right in the good part of the bat.
So that stopped a string of 7 straight sent down by Gallardo. And now Jake Marisnick gets a towering fly ball to right. But this one playable. Figueroa makes the grab. That is out number 2. Let's take time right here for a Mazda game break. Here's Rick Renner. Rick.
Second base for HOU AT TEX.
All right, Rick, thank you. Well, here's Jose Altuve with his second at bat of the night. He started things by grounding to third, and he takes strike 1. Altuve, last year's American League leader in hits, had 225 of them. Lines one to right. That's going to settle in front of Figueroa for a base hit. And Altuve, another guy that goes line to line as good as anybody.
You're not going to get him to look at many pitches. If it's near the strike zone, he is going to offer at it. And that's why he's such a good hitter. When you throw it out there, that's what he does with it. Lines it into right field, like Michael Young used to do.
Well, you got to be very aware of Altuve. 56 stolen bases last year. Here's George Springer. 0-1.
I mentioned Springer yesterday, what a good athlete he is. Capable of playing center field. He's playing right field now. Excellent power. Spent a couple of months on the disabled list last year, which spoiled the opportunity to hit 25 or 30 home runs. He is a little bit prone to the strikeout, though. He was up 295 times last year and struck out 114 times. But if you get him when he's hot and he's making contact, he can put a charge in it.
You see the 11th overall pick in 2011 by the Astros. To center field, Leonys Martin coming on. The ball knuckles on him, but gets away. Altuve into third. He will stop there as the throw comes into second. Well, you can see the way that Leonys Martin went after that ball, that it was doing some crazy things, and he went into a little slide just as the ball got there, and it looked like it knuckled right out of his glove.
Well, Springer hit that ball off the end of the bat, I think. You see, Leonys gets a pretty good jump on it. Not able to corral it in his glove. Altuve at first base. Able to get to third, but not able to come all the way home.
The runners at the corners. That is the third Astro hit of this inning. And Jed Lowry takes outside for ball 1. Lowry, a strikeout the first time that he faced Yovani Gallardo. Gallardo a check of the runners. Like that curveball by Lowry. It is 1-1. Mentioned Lowry with 2 of the 3 Astros home runs this year, and they've come in his last 2 ball games. Broke up a no-hitter on Thursday with a 9th inning home run. And then yesterday started the game off with a home run. 2 balls and a strike now.
A couple of years ago for Oakland, Lowry hit 290, hit 15 home runs, and he had 45 doubles. Pretty good offensive year. Last year was decent year, but not anything like that. Same pitch he struck out on first time up.
It was a little tardy on the fastball, and it's 2-2.
If Yovani can pound him in there, he'll probably get him through the same thing.
Altuve, the runner at third. Gary Pettis, the third base coach for the Astros. And over at first base is George Springer. Lowry waiting. Gallardo from the belt. Foul back.
Looked like pretty close to the same pitch. Just barely got a piece of it that time. Came back over the plate a little bit. By the looks of it, looks like the other one did too. I thought they were inside. They were pretty much right down the middle of the plate.
Now Gallardo okays the side. Had that breaking ball and it just stayed outside. The count is full. Now with 2 outs, Springer will be off and moving from first base with the next pitch. Lowry trying to extend this inning. Chris Carter, the cleanup man, waits in the on-deck circle. Gallardo ready. Springer on the move. Payoff pitch. Pop foul. Reset and try it all again. Lowry spent 1 year with the Astros back in 2012. That's 16 home runs that year for Houston. Then he went over to Oakland. 2013, the Tom was talking about 15 home runs, 75 RBI and a 290 average. Last year, just 6 home runs and 50 driven in. And the Astros signed him as a free agent this past offseason. Gallardo again ready. Outside, ball 4. That'll load him up for Carter. And the first walk issued by Gallardo tonight. Still 2 outs. Mathematics not ready to go out to the mound quite yet. 18 pitches so far here in the third, and that almost equaled the total from the first and second innings combined. Chris Carter now with the bases full, a strikeout as he led off the second. Nothing in 1.
Carter was trying to get a fastball and drive in 4 runs with that swing. He's had a couple of grand slams in his career.
The former Oakland A player that's with the Astros now. That's in the dirt. And the count evens at a ball and a strike. Chris Carter last year, a huge year, 37 home runs. Second most in the major leagues. Nelson Cruz, of course, led with 40. Giancarlo Stanton with 37. Tied with Chris Carter. He got that in on his fist. And Carter fought it off and fought it off foul. It is 1-2.
He's got him. He can always come back inside with a good fastball. He's got him set up for a slider down and away. Keep it a little bit out of the strike zone. You might get him to offer at it. Swung at the first pitch, which was outside. That pitch was well inside. Nothing in the strike zone yet. Still has 2 strikes on him though.
The 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging.
There it is.
Down and away, and Gallardo leaves the bases full. The Astros get a run on Marwin Gonzalez home run, but strand 3 after 2.5. 2-1 Rangers. presented all weekend by Chevrolet. Yovani Gallardo minimizing the damage in the top of the third. A 2-1 Ranger lead now as Texas comes to bat the top of the order to face Roberto Hernandez. Elvis Martin, who popped out in foul territory his first time up, takes ball one. Hernandez back to the plate. They have a showing bunt. Pulled the bat back. It was a strike anyway. Leonis now 0 for his last 11 times to the plate. The last base hit he got was on Wednesday in Oakland. It was against Scott Kazmir, and he bunted his way aboard. It's going to be a foot race. Martin and Hernandez wins by a toenail.
Nice pickup by Carter. Pretty nice play.
This is a check-in with Emily Jones. Em?
Well, guys, Carlos Peguero coming up to bat for the Rangers next, and they've always said that injury can turn into opportunity, and that's definitely the way that Carlos sees his opportunity with the Rangers.
I don't try to put pressure on myself, just try to do my job, to what I can, or do what I can control. I don't control the decision what they make, and then, you know, I just try to enjoy my time with.
So Peguero, obviously, with the right attitude headed into this stint with the Rangers, he does admit that this call came a lot sooner than he thought it would after not breaking camp with the team. But he said he'll take these opportunities, of course, anytime he can get them.
All right, Emily, thank you. Now, Carlos, no stranger to the big leagues. In some fairly short stints, however. 3 times he was up with Seattle since 2011. Last year with Kansas City, but only for 4 games. Had a monster year again last year at AAA Omaha. Hit 30 home runs in 104 games. It's outside. The count is 2-1. Tom, you mentioned the Rangers hoping they get a late bloomer in Carlos Peguero, much like Nelson Cruz was for the Rangers when they got him along with Carlos Lee from Milwaukee. And, of course, Lee went on to the Astros. But Nelson Cruz finally able to put it together, and he was a great player for the Rangers for several years.
Yeah, the thing some people might not realize about Nelly Cruz, there was a year where he was not on a big league roster. He was eligible to be selected in the Rule 5 draft, and nobody picked him. So the Rangers were lucky that happened. And then he did blossom into an outstanding player.
Am I remembering right? Did they have to put him through waivers that year too? Was he on the big league roster and they had to take him off?
I think so.
So he was exposed twice.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. He was exposed to waivers and got all the way through. Can't remember exactly what the circumstances were.
Adrian Beltre shoots one down the left field line. Well, Beltre, who tripled his first time, is going to double this time up. 2 of the 4 legs of the cycle for Beltre. He is aboard with 2 outs.
Now, that's just the kind of hitter that Adrian is. The first time up, he had a cut fastball or a slider away and shot it down the right field line. 530th career double for Adrian. That time he had a sinker that tailed in on him, and he ripped it down the left field line. So if you look at the location of the 2 pitches he hits, they're on the exact opposite part of the plate, down right at the knees. One's ripped to right field, and that one is shot right past the third baseman, Valbuena, for a double.
Well, Beltre at second with 2 outs. I'm not really sure why you would pitch the fielder, throw him anything even closely reachable. But they're going to do it. You got first base open. You got right-handed inning Jake Smolinski to follow it. Fielder, runners in scoring position. We saw a 4 for 5, really the only productive Ranger in these situations so far this year. Must be something I'm missing about pitching to him here early in the ball game. Maybe, I guess that's about the only thing you think of.
Well, you look at he's throwing change-ups or splitters, whatever they are. Maybe his game plan is to pitch to him, but make sure you don't throw him a strike. Put the pressure on the pitcher.
8 hits in his last 16 at-bats for Prince. Among the league leaders in the first 6 ball games this year. Down to the count, 0-2. Beautiful sunset. Light glistening off the high clouds out over the west stands here at Globe Life Park. Great evening. A gentle breeze drifting in from left center field. Temperature in the low 70s. Inside, 2-2. Prince had the first 2 RBI of the Rangers this season. Added another one in Oakland. Still looking for his first home run of 2015. Beltre the lead from second. Right back to Hernandez. On to first, and that'll do it. So Hernandez knew what he was doing. He gets fielder. Rangers strand Beltre. Will go to the 4th inning. Rangers 2, Astros 1. Rangers play the Seattle Mariners, and the first 15,000 fans that come out to Globe Life Park will get a Derek Holland Garden Gnome, sponsored by Reliant. And this gnome, you know, is going to go fast, so get your tickets today at TexasRangers.com. Well, as we head to the top of the 4th inning, a 2-1 Ranger lead. Joining us now for a little defense is the doctor of defense, Mark McLemore.
Hello, I'm here.
Good to see you, Mac.
You know, I tell myself that every morning.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice to see you on the proper side of the grass. I didn't know anybody else did that.
I sure do.
Pitch is just a little bit high to Valbuena. 1-2 the count. Well, this for Yovani Gallardo, a little bit better than his opening day assignment. Much better execution.
Much better execution. You know, he's been in a couple of jams, but he knows how to work himself out of it.
Yeah.
Especially against this Astros ball club. He's got a great record against them. Knows the hitters, knows what gets them out, what their tendencies are. So getting into trouble and then getting out of it, that's the key. It's going to happen. You're going to get in trouble. But can you get yourself out of it? And Gallardo's done a good job so far tonight.
2-2 to Valbuena. The center field, but easily playable for Leonis Martin. 1 out. Let's sneak over and check in with Jim Knox. Jim.
All right, appreciate it, Bud. Special guest here is Storm Aguilar from Aledo, and he's a wounded warrior throughout the first pitch. And this had some special meaning because Detweiler caught the first pitch. Tell us about that.
Well, right after I was wounded in Afghanistan, Detweiler was doing a USO tour, and he was in Bagram, and he was visiting everybody in the hospital. And I got to meet him and talk to him and for just a little bit and get a picture taken with him. And when I found out that he was with the Rangers now, I kind of asked around to see if he was going to be pitching tonight, and they told me he wasn't. And then they came out and surprised me, and he caught the first pitch. So.
Yeah, that was a surprise. You didn't know Ross was going to come out. What did he say afterwards?
I mean, he asked how I was doing, and then he gave me his glove.
Yeah,
so.
no kidding. Check this out, guys. Ross's glove. I mean, this is a great glove, isn't it, Tom? It's not one of those, little plastic gloves, little memorabilia glove. This is the real deal. All right.
No giveaway.
No giveaway. Well, congratulations. Appreciate it, Storm. Thank you for everything you've done, and keep up the good work. Appreciate it. Thank you, Buzz.
Thanks, Knox. That's a great story. Great story. A 1 on, 1 out as Jason Castro continues to pummel Yovani Gallardo. He is the one Astro that's had a lot of success against him. He's on here with a 1 out single. Now Kobe Rasmus, who flied to right his first time. Mac, you were talking about the success that Gallardo had had. Now, this is pretty much a different team than what he faced 3 or 4 years ago. Does that still go over? Is there still a level of confidence there that's better when you face a team you've had success?
I think maybe for a young guy, he may think that there's that confidence there. But I think for a veteran like Gallardo, he knows, okay, this is a different Houston Astros team because it's not the same players.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure he's aware of that. But I think sometimes you can let those positive things get into your head. And the more positive you can get in there and use anything you possibly can to get that opposition out, you're going to take it and run with it.
Sure.
I mean, I know there were there were teams that I had success against, and it didn't matter, who was in the rotation that year, who was in the bullpen. I just knew I hit them well. Like the Toronto, I think I had probably my highest average against Toronto throughout my career. It didn't matter. I played well against them. It didn't matter who was in there.
Rasmus down the right field line. The stop sign is put up at third as Castro stops there, but Astros now on the strength of a single and a double by Rasmus. And Marwin Gonzalez coming up, and runners at second and third, just one out. Like Yovani might have gotten that pitch on the inner part of the plate to Rasmus. We saw Rasmus hit the ball out of the ballpark against Feliz yesterday on a pitch that was down and in.
That ball, I think it started in and then kind of moved out over the plate. First time up, he hit a fly ball to right field on a pitch in. That ball he hit out last night didn't look like he was going to be able to hit it that well, but somehow he golfed it out of the ballpark. He swings and misses a lot, but he put a charge in the ball too. He's hit more than 20 home runs 3 times in his career.
So second and third, one out. Marwin Gonzalez, who homered to right the last inning, steps in. Rangers play the middle of the infield back with Andrus and Odor back at the normal levels, or normal depths, I should say, of the infield. Both Beltre and Fielder up. In case the balls hit sharply to them, they would have to play at home plate. Gallardo works from the stretch and deals strike one. Ranger fans will remember Marwin Gonzalez a couple of years ago breaking up the perfect game attempt by HOU Darvish. 2 outs in the 9th inning. And Marwin Gonzalez hit one right back through the wickets. First base runner of the whole ball game against HOU Darvish. And that ended the quest for perfection. High and tight, 1-1. Six home runs last year, and all of them against right-handed pitchers. I mentioned that Gonzalez, a switch hitter. His power from the left side. Slow tapper, and Castro's not going to come down the line. Prince Fielder had him dead to rights had he tried, and he's just going to walk Gonzalez back to home plate.
Gonzalez says, okay, I can't run through you, big guy. Speed up, think what to do. Let's see, I can't go backwards. I can't go out of the baseline. I'm not going to go under, over, or through him. I'll just let him tag me.
I wonder if there's a clock on how long it takes to get it out.
Yeah, normally when we show you replays in real speed, you say, wow. Wow, that was fast.
Like
and
that.
not so much on this one. No, a very big out number 2.
Fans like plays like that. Yeah, gives them something to talk about.
Jake Marisnik, the number 9 hitter, takes strike one from Gallardo.
There's one of those jams you're talking about, Mac. If he pitches out a second and third and one out, that'll be some real pitching.
Real good pitching.
Marisnik skied to right field. His first time up. That was last inning.
Marisnik's been tough on the Rangers. I remember him getting a bunch of hits against the Rangers last year. He had 272 last year with 173 at bats, but it seems like he hit a lot higher than that against the Rangers.
Carried that over yesterday. He was 3 for 3 with a couple of doubles in yesterday's ball game.
Yeah, he hit the ball hard a couple times yesterday.
Now 2-1.
We got first base open, but the problem is Altuve's the next hitter. So I guess you want to pitch him carefully, but you want to make sure that this is the guy you get out. You don't have to pitch to Altuve.
Mike Maddox, Jeff Bannister, very interested observers in this situation. 2-1 pitch. Popped him up. If that comes down, he is probably out. Ignet Odor grabs it, and that will take care of the Astros. No runs, 2 hits. Good job of pitching by Yovani Gallardo. 2-1 Rangers. On Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by the Mazda 6. J.D. Power has awarded the Mazda 6 highest ranked vehicle appeal among mid-size cars. Well, the crowd extremely happy with the concessions and also with the pitching of Yovani Gallardo to work out of that second and third jam in the fourth. Maintaining a 2-1 lead, the Rangers have over the Astros, and Jake Smolinski starting things off. Smolinski led off the second by walking. Came around to score a run. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Talking about Jake Smolinski and Ryan Rua being very good friends and kind of egging each other on the competition they had for left field. That really, when you're competing against somebody, I mean, unless you just can't stand each other, that forms a pretty tight bond between the two of you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does. You know, you're pulling for one another, even though you're going for that same position. You're pulling for one another. You want the other guy to go out there and get a couple of hits, and you want to go out there and follow suit and go out and get 3 hits. So I think it's a healthy competition. It's been very rare that I've seen over my career where you've got a couple of guys that are going for the same position that really don't like each other.
Yeah. You know, Jake on strikes to open up the fourth, and now Mitch Moreland. Mitch banged a single into center field his first time up.
Yeah, that was the best sinker that Hernandez has thrown today, the one that Jake just missed.
Ball 1. And the Astros going into that extreme overshift, but third baseman Val Buena guarding against the potential for a bunt or a ball hit slowly to third. 2-0.
You know, you hear a lot of people talk about this shift and what hitters should do, you know, to beat the shift. But when you've got a guy like Mitch and you've got a guy like Prince that have this alignment on them, you know, you hear a lot of people say, well, you know, hit the ball the other way and take a single. If I'm the opposing manager, I would love for Prince Fielder or Mitch Moreland to hit a single the other way, because those guys have the potential to make a souvenir out of a ball. So I'd rather have them take something off their swing and go the other way than give them the opportunity to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
And I agree with the exception of maybe a 2-run ball game in the 9th inning.
Right.
Where you need a base runner to get the tying run to the plate.
Leadoff hitter.
When you're leading off. And okay, fine. If you want to bunt, that's a good time to do it because you're really putting the ball club in a position to win. That's in a gap in right center field, and that is going to the wall. Moreland will stop at second, and it's pretty tough to find a shift that's going to cut that ball down.
But the other thing, Buzz, the harder you hit it, the less the shift can catch it.
Exactly.
You don't have time to move to get it. That was a rope right there. He was ahead in the count. He got a good look at the 3-0 pitch. And then he got a sinker, a high sinker that didn't sink. That pitch was on the outside corner. The way he swung at it looked like it was right down the middle of the plate.
And that's twice now. Mitch has hit the ball on the same kind of a line. This one a little bit higher than the first one, but both of them were scalded out there. So a 1-out double has Moreland in scoring position. Elvis up there and takes ball 1. Andrus called out on strikes, his first time to the plate. Hernandez okays the sign as Andrus waits. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's Let's check in with Emily, who has some more for us on Mitch Moreland. Em?
Well, guys, in talking to Mitch, he says he feels great. You know, after shutting things down last season to really get that ankle taken care of, it was something that had been bothering him for quite some time. He's anxious to see what he can do, feeling fully healthy, and hopefully it'll continue to stay that way, but off to a good start this season.
Thank you, Emily. Yeah, and, you know, using the entire ballpark. And we've said before, talking about Mitch Moreland, when you see him start driving the ball to left field, you know his swing's pretty close, and we saw him do that a lot in the Oakland series. And then he comes back home and hits some ropes to center and to left center. So, yeah, I think you would have to say his timing right now is pretty good.
Yeah, I just don't think he was able to swing like that at all last year. You know, he pretty much took everything the other way, but not with authority last year. And I think a lot of it had to do with his ankle, obviously. And seeing him so far in spring training and the early part of the season, he looks great. He's able to use the entire field, line to line, with authority. So I think he's going to be a big piece of this offense.
Mm-hmm. And when you saw that ball that he hit in Oakland for a home run, that line shot to left center field, you can see why. He's a guy that should use the whole field because he's got excellent power the other way. He also hit probably 2 or 3 balls in Oakland really well to deep left center field that were caught, dead center field that were caught on cool nights where the ball wasn't carrying very well. So his average, if you looked at his average, you wouldn't think he was hitting that well, but when you look at the other balls that were outs that he hit well and watch him every at bat, you can tell he does look good with the bat in his hand.
You know, I think teams are going to have a tendency to not worry so much about Mitch. They're going to put a lot of their focus and concentration on Beltre and Chu and Fielder, as they should.
Yep.
But I think Mitch is going to be that forgotten guy that's going, and he's going to make people remember.
Behind the bag at third, Valbuena fires a strike. Elvis retired. Moreland staying at second, 2 outs now, and Rougned Odor coming up. Let's take a look at our T-Mobile game changers. How about last night? Mookie Betts, that marathon that the Red Sox and Yankees had, 19 innings worth of baseball, 17 pitchers, 628 pitches. The game went 6 hours and 49 minutes.
Yeah, they're out there for that long, and both teams scored in the 16th, and both teams scored in the 18th.
That's not fun. When you get that far into a game, it's like, okay, somebody score. Somebody, anybody.
Yeah.
Whether it's us or the other team, somebody score.
And don't you know that after the Mookie Betts sacrifice fly, the guys in the Boston bench told whoever was pitching at that time, if you give up a run, we're leaving. You're staying here.
It looked like the last 2 pitchers were going to be in. Each one of them pitched multiple innings. They might have been the last hands on deck. Chris Davis a couple years ago was in a game like that. They ran out of pitchers in a tie game. They brought him in. He got to win.
Yeah, that was in Boston.
Yeah, was it in Boston?
Yeah.
He got a pretty good arm, and he was a pitcher. And probably if you'd never seen a big league game before, you wouldn't have known that he was a position player trying to pitch.
You know, like Mitch Moreland last year in Colorado.
Yeah, Mitch, what was he throwing, like 91?
94.
94 with a breaking ball, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, way back when, the Rangers kind of tried to talk Mitch out of being a position player, wanted him to be a pitcher.
I think Mitch made the right choice.
Yeah, I do too. But watching him pitch that day out of the clear blue, I think he would have been in the big leagues as a pitcher as well. But a power hitting first baseman can make more money than a left-handed reliever.
Two balls and a strike to Rougned Odor. And that evens things up now at 2-2. Odor had an RBI, his second of the year, on a fielder's choice roller out in the second inning. And at this point, that is the difference in the ballgame. Mentioned that Rougned's 2 base hits have gone for extra bases. A double yesterday and his home run in Oakland. That ball is ripped but pulled foul.
If that little guy got the ball in the middle of his hat, he would have lost that hat. Would have gone flying right out of his hand. Got the ball, though.
Looks like a new hat, too. He broke it in for him. Moreland establishing his lead at second right there at the bottom of your screen. The ball is hit hard, too, but pulled foul.
A lot of off-speed pitches to Rougned. Last several pitches have all been off-speed pitches.
Rougned coming off a spring that saw him have pretty good camp down in Arizona. 318 average. On base percentage up there pretty well too. Almost 350. Takes that outside. The count is now full. So with 2 outs, Odor trying to extend this fourth inning. If he's able to reach, Robinson Chirinos waits in the on-deck circle. Mitch Moreland at second after the 1-out double. Hernandez getting set to throw the 8th pitch of this at bat to Odor. Low ball 4. Rougned takes a walk. New skipper, the Houston Astros, A.J. Hinch, making some notes. Jason Castro out to talk to Roberto Hernandez. Hernandez now will deal with Robinson Chirinos, who flied to right field in the second inning. Be a great time for Chirinos to break into the hit column this year. 0 for 8 thus far. Nice pickup by Jason Castro, and that sinker is short hopping in there.
Nice pickup. Skip and hit the front of the plate.
Yeah. You say that ball was real close to bouncing over his head if it hits the up part of that plate. 1-1 after the foul ball. Roberto Hernandez now 70 pitches thus far, 25 balls and 45 strikes. Rangers have made him work. This evening has not had a 1-2-3 frame yet. Off the fist by the mound. Valbuena off balance, got him. Nice play by the third baseman. That'll do it for the Rangers. No runs, a hit, 2 left. We're going to the 5th. It's the Rangers 2, the Astros 1 on Fox Sports Southwest.
Looked kind of like a gingerbread man. Brought back old memories from days gone by when I appeared in a video. It was a Ramones video. That's me with a machine gun. That's the gingerbread man. That's my crew with me. And that poor ginger man didn't stand a chance.
Gunned him down.
Really? That was a replay. That was actually the video for the Ramones song "The Substitute." And you may ask, how in the world did you ever get in a Ramones video? And that's a good question.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh my goodness. So you don't even know who the Ramones are. Well, that may have been true at the time, but the young man that produced that video is the son of my daughter's godfather, Dr. Carl Renoni. His son Tom produced that video. And he called me one day and he said, "Have you got a navy blue suit?" And I said, "Sure." He said, "Well, come on out to California. I want you to be in the Ramones video." And I said to him, "What's that?" So he told me, and I came out, and I was in the video. I've got a lot of mileage out of that video.
Wow.
The people that are really incredulous are people that love the Ramones and know that I probably didn't know anything about them. Anyway, there you go.
What did you learn about them?
I like the song, The Substitute. Yeah? The guy on the right is Brian Yuzna. He was a Hollywood producer. I can't remember the guy jumping out of the seat of the car there, right-hand seat of the car. He's been in a bunch of movies. Karen Black is not in that scene, but she was also in that video.
Look at that. That's an action hero if I've ever seen one right there.
I'd never shot a machine gun before. Actually,
I would hope not.
I didn't really shoot that. I really didn't shoot that one either.
Oh, that's not what the gingerbread man said.
Yeah, here's the real question. Why in the world was there a gingerbread man getting shot by all that firepower in a song about a substitute teacher? That's the real question. I never did understand that. The good news is the gingerbread man is alive and well today. He's at the ballpark. For anyone worried about that gingerbread man,
there he is.
It was just an optical illusion.
The magic of Hollywood, huh?
Although he looked like he was taunting me a little bit.
You missed.
All I gotta do is make a phone call. Oh my! Get Chuck Morgan to play that music out there. There's the Ramones. On the left is Johnny Ramone. And one day, Tom Ranoni, who produced that video, asked me to get tickets for him and Johnny Ramone at a Yankee game. And so I said, great. And I sat down, and Tom and Johnny Ramone had all leather on and long hair. And as he's walking down the aisle to sit down, everybody's screaming at him, "Hey, Johnny, Johnny," and he's waving to people. And so as he sat down, I'm thinking to myself, what in the world am I going to talk to him about for 9 innings? And the minute from the time he sat down till 3 hours later, all he talked about was baseball.
Really?
He's one of the biggest baseball fans. He knew more about the old-time players than I did. He had a collection of over 2,000 autographed pictures that he'd sent away that players had sent back to him. And he didn't talk anything about music. All he talked about was baseball for 9 innings. So you never know.
Yeah.
So I have, for all that notoriety, I have my friend Tom Ranoni to thank.
You know, it's amazing. One of the things I've always found amazing is that celebrities in other sports or other parts of entertainment, how huge baseball fans they are.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah, it is. It really
you just
is.
don't think about it. You meet them and they're like, "Oh, I love watching you play," or it's just incredible to me how often that happens.
Well, the funny thing is, and you hear it all the time, whether it's golfers, football players, all the athletes would love to be entertainers, and all the entertainers wish they were athletes.
Yeah.
So I guess we should just be happy with what we've got.
Yeah.
I think I can speak for both of you. If we had to be entertainers, we'd be
in trouble.
Probably
I don't.
Starving for a living.
Listen, I always wanted to be a singer. I can't carry a note across the street.
Really?
So,
why don't you sing a little something? Let us be the judge.
That's quite all right. There have been plenty of other people that have been a judge, and that's why I'm sitting here doing what I'm doing now.
Smolensky just across the line in foul territory. Nice play by Jake. Able to run down that twisting foul fly off the bat of Jed Lowry for out number 2. Jose Altuve, who started this inning, still stranded at first.
It's a great play by Jake. That's not an easy thing to do, to run all that way, and you know you're in foul territory, close to the wall, close to the fans, but he kept that concentration there and made a nice play.
Does the fact that wall right there turns into solid brick have anything to do with your psyche?
Absolutely. The last time I checked, brick wins over balls.
Yeah. Padding's one thing, but when you get close to that brick and mortar, that's a problem. Well, Chris Carter tonight has struck out both times that he has faced Yovani Gallardo. Gallardo, by the way, now with 5 strikeouts as he punched out George Springer. of the first out of this inning. Gallardo, a check of first base. Foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gallardo and Torinos took the brunt of that last foul ball, so I think this is as much of an opportunity for Robinson to kind of gather himself, talking to Gallardo, as it is anything else. Kevin Harmon out there just to do his duty and check in on Robinson. One ball and 1 strike to Chris Carter. Couldn't get him to offer it. That slider low and away. The count is 2-1. Mentioned Chris Carter, formerly with Oakland. He came up with the A's for the first time in 2010. Had 24 ball games with him. Just never really found a spot that he was comfortable playing with Oakland. Never hit for a very high average. Came over to Houston, and each year has been better. He hit 29 home runs 2 years ago. Last year, we mentioned 37. The average has stayed about the same in the mid-220s, but power numbers have increased. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him swinging. Third time, and he's gotten Carter. Same pitch, breaking ball down and away. Altuve's leadoff single for naught as he is stranded. Rangers by 1. Fans that come out to Globe Life Park will also get a red Rangers cap. That's courtesy of AT&T. Come on out to Globe Life Park for opening week and get your cap. Purchase tickets at TexasRangers.com. And now he's showing you that great cap that you can get tomorrow if you're one of the first 15,000 in attendance.
Good looking hat.
It is. Very nice hat. Top of the Ranger order here in the 5th inning. Leonys Martin, who is 0 for 2. Makes the pitch a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Saw Leonys last time up. Show bunt, but then pulled the bat back. And he really hasn't tried to lay down a bunt very aggressively since that base hit he had against Scott Kazmir on Wednesday. I'd like to see Leonys kind of get in the habit of doing that once a game and really put it in play.
Yeah, if you can put it in play, that would be great, but it also helps with pitch selection. You know, typically what I found when I, square around a bunt or walk out to bunt, that next pitch from the pitcher was going to be a fastball. So there are certain pitchers I would try to set up that way. I wanted them to throw me a fastball. This guy, Hernandez, is one of those guys because he's throwing a lot of off-speed stuff. If I walk out right now, the next pitch is probably going to be a fastball because the belief is a fastball is tougher to bunt than a breaking ball, which is not true in my book.
Right.
So,
yeah, I agree with you.
Setting up pitchers is something that, as you get older, a lot of hitters figure out how to do it or try to do it at least.
Right.
So that was one of the things that I would do, and I would love to see him be able to figure that part of it out. But it also brings that third baseman in, brings the second baseman in, and first baseman in. It changes that defense around a little bit.
Hernandez, quick throw, and he gets Leonys Martin. Yeah, you get people moving around a little bit, and that's got to be to a hitter's advantage, especially if you have any kind of speed.
It really does. I mean, you get them out of position, they come in, and it creates some more holes for you. So if you get a pitch and that you can't really bunt, you take a swing at it. You may move that guy out of position and be able to beat it out, or it gets through the infield. So just walking out there, even if you don't get it down, put it in their heads that, hey, if I get a pitch to put it down, I'm going to get it down and do something.
Now, 1 gone. Here's Carlos Peguero for his 3rd at bat tonight. Peguero has flied to left, grounded to second. Like the changeup that Hernandez dropped in there for strike 1.
Now his changeup moves just like his sinker. He's got a lot of movement on that thing.
Got it again. This one driven to left field. It is over Rasmus' head and off the wall. Gallardo steaming into second. And only a good play out there by Rasmus, and Marisnik prevented Gallardo from going for 3.
He put a charge in that one. That thing was a rope. And I guess when you face a guy like Hernandez, Mac, you're just hoping that he gets a changeup or a sinker up and it doesn't have much movement. And when it does, you better hit it.
Yeah, you've got to hope he gets it up. If he doesn't get it up, you're probably not going to hit it because it's probably going to be that sinker or changeup down in the zone. And you see here, this one hung up a little bit, ran out over the plate, and Gallardo's got some great pop. I mean, that's a big man, big strong man. He can move. So I'm getting around first base.
Yeah.
If they had bobbled the ball any in the outfield, he would have been at third base. But he got a ball up, he could hammer. Short hop the fence in left field.
He hit that thing 390 feet.
Yeah.
But him running reminded me how amazed I was when I saw him in spring training this year. For the first time, really paid attention to how fast he was. He can pick him up and lay him down now.
He can. I mean, especially, and not just for a big guy. I mean, he's just fast.
Yeah.
He's fast.
Well, here's Adrian Beltre, who has tripled and doubled tonight. Chance now to add to that Ranger lead. It's just 2-1. Beltre tripled in the first and scored. The ball was thrown away by Marwin Gonzalez. Last time up in the third inning, doubled into the left field corner. Off speed, that's over for a strike. Take a look at these two locations.
Here's a slider on the outside corner. Pretty nice pitch down and away. And here's a sinker. Pretty nice pitch down and in. Both of them pretty much on the side of the plate that Hernandez was trying to hit. Adrian hit one down the right field line. He pulled one down the left field line. That's why he's had the career he has, because he's got that kind of ability.
That one got in on him a little bit, and the ground ball to Valbuena results in out number 2. Let's take time right here for a Mazda game break with Rick Renner. Rick? The Rangers here at Globe Life Park leading 2-1. Carlos Gallardo, the runner at second base, and in a situation again where you've got first base open and 2 outs. Prince Fielder up there with the runner at second base. Last time up, this happened in the third, and Hernandez went after him and got a ground ball back to the mound. And it looks like they're going to pitch to him again. It still baffles me.
It baffles me too, because this is what we were talking about earlier. This is that time where it's fine for Prince to go the other way, because if he hits the ground ball just to the left side, there's an RBI.
Yeah, and this is really where a shift kind of defeats its own purpose. You're shifting, assuming he's going to take a normal swing.
Right.
In a run-producing situation, real run producers don't always do that. You got an opportunity for something the other way to drive in a run, they're going to do it.
And there he went. He tried. He tried right there.
Prince backing out, thinking about it. Now, if you're Hernandez is going to pitch to him, you're not going to throw him anything hard away. And you saw the last changeup stayed away, and that's fine, because the chances are he'll pull it if he rolls over him. That wasn't reachable. 2-1 the count. So the fielder, you can pretty well block out the pitch away as far as the fastball is concerned. Castro called time, and a different ball put in play for Roberto Hernandez. 34-year-old out of the Dominican Republic. 19-game winner, as Tom told you, with the Cleveland Indians in his second year in the major leagues. That's in the dirt. And the count moves to 3-1. Now the fielder is able to keep this fifth inning alive, and Jake Smolinski waits on the on-deck circle. Crowd now getting up off their hands. They've got something to cheer about. Rangers mounting a rally here. And now they're going to go ahead and put him on. Well, once they fell behind and the fielder was not going to offer it anything in the dirt, the intentional pass was put into play.
Yeah, I think they're kind of on board with what you guys were thinking as far as pitching to Prince. They were hoping that they could make a lot of pitches out of the strike zone and get him to swing at it. That's fine unless the pitcher makes a mistake and throws one out over the plate and gets roped into the outfield.
Exactly.
I guess there's kind of two trains of thought on that. That's one, try to make him swing at a bad pitch. The other is don't put the pressure on the pitcher. If you don't want to pitch to him, just walk him and let him go to first base.
Brent Strom, the pitching coach, going out there. Yeah, that's, the famous story about a guy coming to the mound, the pitching coach, and saying, look, I don't want you to walk him, but don't get anything good to hit. Yeah. Now, what do you do? Yeah. Say, well, what would you like me to do? And that's kind of nuts. Well, while we have a second here, I'd like to remind you the first dollar hot dog day of the season takes place on Wednesday. That's April 15th. The Rangers take on the Angels that day. Come on out to Globe Life Park for the last game of opening week and enjoy ballpark hot dogs for just $1 each. Visit TexasRangers.com for tickets, or if you prefer, call 972-RANGERS. Well, that visit concluded. Brent Strom, an old college teammate of mine, and he has been around as a pitching coach for a lot of years. Really one of the top flight ones, especially with young pitchers. And that's one of the reasons why the Astros have him over here working with a fairly young staff. First and second, 2 outs. Jake Smolinski has walked and struck out tonight. And ball one misses. I would think a guy like Jake Smolinski is not the kind of guy you want to face in a situation like this. So Thatcher, left-hander, getting ready, and I would imagine he would face Mitch Moreland if Moreland comes up in this inning. The reason I say that is Smolinski very capable of going foul pole to foul pole with you.
He used the entire field well. He hits off-speed pitches well, and that's exactly what Hernandez throws, and we've seen 2 of them so far here in this at-bat.
Carlos Peguero going back to the bag as time is called momentarily. Jake looking for his first hit and his first RBI. Takes that one low. 3 balls and no strikes.
It's a great at bat by Jake. I mean, he's just spitting on all those pitches, not even offering at them.
And there's Mitch. He has smoked a couple of baseballs tonight. He is waiting to be next. Sinker in at the knees. It's 3-1. Smolinski last year came up to the Rangers, and boy, he was hotter than a firecracker to start things off. He hit .349 in 24 games, and he was derailed a little bit by a broken foot. Blowing outside, ball 4. That'll load him up. And Mitch Moreland coming up, and I doubt that he's going to face Roberto Hernandez. Hinch waiting just to make sure that Thatcher is ready out there. So the intentional walk to fielder, followed by the unintentional walk to Smolinski. And the Rangers have the bases full, and that's going to be it for Roberto Hernandez. Well, the call out to the bullpen, left-hander Thatcher is summoned. He comes into a pretty good pickle here in the 5th inning. Rangers leading 2-1. And threatening with more. We're back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Now Foundation and the Park Place dealerships for Triple Play. This year's Triple Play game show spectacular will feature your favorite Ranger players, a silent auction, and a night of circus-themed fun. Visit TexasRangers.com/Triple Play to learn more about how you can support the Rangers Foundation. Joe Thatcher has come out of the bullpen to take over for the Astros. Thatcher, a 33-year-old southpaw, signed a minor league deal with the Astros, came to spring training, made the ball club. Now he's in a jam facing Mitch Moreland with the bases full and 2 out. He misses high for ball 1.
I don't know what the splits will show, but he looks like he should be pretty tough on a left-hand hitter. Kind of a funky delivery, sidearm delivery. If he can throw a slider down and away, it'd probably be a pretty tough pitch to hit.
And he misses inside. Two balls and no strikes. Well, I don't think that was what he had in mind. It was a fall behind 2-0.
Yeah, or throw it on the inside part. Worst thing a lefty can do to a lefty is hang a breaking ball on the inside part of the plate.
Yeah.
You succeed in getting him to bail, and then you throw it right into his power slot.
He threw one up there again and got away with it. It's 2-1. Moreland is singled and doubled. He has Peguero at third, Fielder at second, and Smolinski at first. Rangers leading 2-1, looking for more. Inside, 3-1. Well, so far this year, the Astros bullpen much improved over last year at 146. And a strike. It is a full count. So now all 3 runners can wind it up and be off with the next pitch. Peguero, Fielder, and Smolinski. If Moreland is able to keep things going, Elvis Andrus will be next. Payoff pitch. Got him on the fist, right back to Thatcher, who plays it between his legs and throws it away, and he's safe.
There's an all-timer. Little dribbler, almost was a base hit. Thatcher caught it behind his back and then couldn't convert it into an out.
Wow. He got that ball between his legs. See the fastball up high. He's throwing very well. Falls behind a couple strikes. Then gets Mitch to swing at one. Another breaking ball inside. Nice slider down. And then this one saws him off. Catches the ball between his legs. And then he goes down sidearm to throw it. That's incredible.
The most movement he had all day was the one he threw to the pitchers.
And now Elvis grounds one to left field, a base hit. 1 run's home. Here comes Smolinski. He is safe. The ball gets by. Moreland to third, Elvis to second. The Rangers lead it 5-1. How about that turn of events?
Wow.
Well, Thatcher threw about a 90-mile-an-hour sinker to the first baseman. The best movement he had. Only Carter couldn't catch it. And then Elvis gets a pitch to hit. Grounds it into left field. And the Rangers keep the runs coming.
Elvis gets out in front of the breaking ball and right into the hole, into left field. All it takes is one play.
Elvis with his first 2 RBI of the year. Rangers now leading 5-1. And Rasmus, who has a pretty good arm in the outfield, you're kind of short off Castro. Otherwise, the ball beats Smolinski there, but the Rangers able to capitalize. And there's Rougned Odor, takes strike 1. Odor, an RBI and a fielder's choice. 0 for 1, also walked this evening. Pop foul Be a tough play for Valbuena. He runs out of room.
Thatcher makes a good pitch on the 3-2 pitch and jams Mitch. Hits a little dribbler back to the pitcher. And then the throw is not a great throw, but it's a good enough throw for Carter to catch. Carter doesn't necessarily get all of his glove on that ball, at least not the pocket of his glove.
And Rougned Odor down on strike. The inning comes to a close, but the Rangers open it up a little bit. 3 runs on a couple of hits. There were 2 big errors and 2 men left. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate the run support.
You got it.
5-1 Rangers.
Here at Globe Life Park with us, of course, Richard Oliver of San Antonio Tourism, also Clay of SeaWorld. But first, Richard, what's going on in San Antonio this summer?
Well, I hope you guys don't mind. We took over Globe Life Park tonight. San Antonio descended. We want you to come down and visit us. We have so much happening. Fiesta Texas opening up a new ride called Batman the Ride. It's out of control. You're an experiential guy. You would love this thing. It'll scramble your eggs pretty good.
Yes.
We've got the Museum, a children's museum opening up, and also all of our missions. The Alamo and the 5 Spanish colonial missions are up for World Heritage status. It would be the first time in the history of Texas there'd be a World Heritage site in Texas. We're going to know that around the 4th of July. Visit sanantonio.com. You'll find out everything about San Antonio.
Well said. Now, Clay from SeaWorld, one of our favorite places. You got an armadillo, and I got the owl right here, Tom. Look at this.
Eastern screech owl. Let me tell you something. That's one of over 25,000 animals rescued by our SeaWorld parks. Otis was found on a roadside near Houston, Texas, and taken to the Wildlife Center of Texas, where he was deemed non-releasable. And this right here is Wilson, about the size of a softball, and another animal ambassador you can see at SeaWorld San Antonio.
What happens if we get the owl and the armadillo together?
Listen, this is a baseball game, not fight night.
Okay, I got you. I can hear you. Otis is looking at us pretty good. We're going to have to... Otis.
You know, to see more animals like Otis and Wilson, go to SeaWorld.com, learn about our creatures, and come visit us right down I-35.
All right, great job, guys. Good seeing you. Let's get the owl and the armadillo together. Here we go. Back here, guys. All right. Buzz.
Nice going, Noxie. Wow. Might be a new sporting event right there. Jim Knox could referee that.
I'm betting on the armadillo in that fight. Poor owl couldn't get a hold of him.
I'm betting on Yovani Gallardo here as he pumps the outside corner for strike 3 call for Luis Valbuena. That is strikeout number 7 for the Ranger right-hander.
Pretty nice pitch, especially if it's called a strike.
Yeah, a little bit here and a little bit there. It was close. Here's Jason Castro, who is 1 for 2. Castro, a 4th inning single. Now the average at an even 300 for the season. Hits are even in this game in the 6 apiece, but the 3 errors committed by the Astros have contributed to 4 unearned runs of the 5 runs the Rangers have scored. Gallardo fires a strike. It's 2-1. Jason Castro catching yesterday afternoon, also tonight. He and Hank Conger, the catching duo for the Astros. Carlos Corcoran now with the Rangers. 3 balls and a strike to Castro. Gallardo back to the plate. Pretty well hit left center. That is going to be trouble. It's up the alley and all the way to the wall. Castro steams into second with a 1-out double. And Colby Rasmus now will be the hitter. So Castro got himself an account where he can look for a fastball that Gallardo is not going to mess around with a 5-1 lead.
Well, Castro did what he could with that pitch, and had to drive it to left center field. A little bit of tailing action on it, tailing toward the outside part of the plate, but it's up about belt high. pretty good pitch to hit. Castro did a good job of hitting it.
Well, that is the 7th hit off of Yovani Gallardo tonight. 1 on, 1 out. Colby Rasmus has one of those 7 hits himself. He had a double back in the 4th inning. One ball, no strikes. John Edwards just recalled from AAA this afternoon by the Rangers, getting loose in the bullpen. One and one.
Well, the Rangers really needed the pitcher. They've had 3 games this year where the starting pitcher went 1, I think 4 and 4 1/3, 4 2/3, something like that. Guys have done a lot of pitching out in the bullpen.
Rasmus pulls a towering foul ball into the seats on the right side.
John had a good outing in AAA. Had a save, I think, in their opener. He's had a little bit of rest, so he's ready to go. Drive into town, suit up, and get a chance to pitch in a Ranger win.
Hopefully he didn't have the same problem coming up from Round Rock he did last year when he had the flat tire and all kinds of problems on I-35. Two balls, 2 strikes. Gallardo now at 85 pitches and showing the first signs tonight of not being real satisfied with his command. He kind of swiped at that last throwback from Robinson Chirinos. A little bit frustrated with himself. 2-2 pitch. Yanked just foul outside the bag at first. Laz Diaz, the quick signal. And we'll try it again at 2-2. Yovani Gallardo, being an experienced pitcher, he goes out there with a 5-1 lead. We'll look at that play from right down the line. Our wedgie cam out there in right field. And Yovani expecting himself to get ahead of each of the hitters. He gives up hits. That's okay. But when you get behind like he did to Castro and then to Rasmus, that'll upset you a little bit. He's a towering pop fly, shallow left center field. A trio of Rangers out there. Jake Smolinski taking charge and makes the catch for out number 2. Next will be Marwin Gonzalez. Jeff Bannister, Mike Maddox keeping an eye on their veteran right-hander, Yovani Gallardo.
Yovani's thrown 87 pitches, 60 of them strikes, 27 balls. So a really good ratio of strikes to balls. I'd love to see him get this last out right here. Only give up 1 run, the home run to Gonzalez. Work out of a couple of jams and end up with a nice ball game. Had 1 walk, I think, and 6 strikeouts.
Marwin Gonzalez, as Tom told you, did have that home run, the solo shot in the 3rd inning. 1 for 2 this evening. Castro out there at second. Gallardo ready for the 1-0 pitch. Throw down to second and just back in time. The ball got away from Elvisman. First time we've seen Robinson Chirinos trying to pick a guy off second. He's had a couple throws to first.
Had a little bit of daylight there. Castro was ready, though. He put on the brakes to get back. Well, Castro wasn't there. Elvis would have been able to catch it. As it was, the ball hit off Castro and didn't go into center field.
Two balls, no strikes to count. Line to left. That's down for a hit. The stop sign is put up for Castro. Smolinski gets the ball back in. Second hit of the night for Gonzalez. Runners at the corners now on 2 outs. And Jake Marisnik will be the hitter.
Well, bad news is it's another base runner. The good news is it was hit on a line right straight to Smolinski, who charged it and really had the ball in time to where the third base coach didn't have any choice but to stop Castro at third base. So with 2 outs, Rangers can still get out of this, having only given up 1 run for the ball game.
Yeah, and Jeff Bannister going out and giving Yovani Gallardo a pat on the back as he takes the ball. Gallardo finished for the evening, and John Edwards will be summoned from the Ranger bullpen. Rangers on top 5-1. 2 on with 2 outs here in the 6th. We'll take a timeout. We're back right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. He leaves with the 5-1 lead, and John Edwards, 27-year-old right-hander, coming on in. Edwards from Keller, Texas. Keller High School. He is on now. He came up with the Rangers last year. You remember, 9 appearances for the ball club. Worked 8 in the 3rd innings. Had an ERA of .432 this spring. Probably had as good a spring as anybody in the bullpen. In spring training, it just wasn't a spot for him right away, and there is now because of the injury difficulties. One ball and no strikes, the count to Marisnik.
The managers love late inning bullpen guys who can light up the radar gun, strong arm guys, and John Edwards is definitely one of those. 94, 95 miles an hour with his fastball, a little bit high with both of them. Power relievers, name of the game nowadays.
Edwards, you remember, originally signed by the Cardinals as a position player, and spent 4 years trying to make it in the Cardinal organization. Finally was released in 2010 and decided that he would try some pitching, and he did just that. Went to San Angelo, the Independent League, the Pecos League. Tried his hand at pitching. Rangers liked what they saw. Finally the strike, and it's 3-1. Signed John in 2012. He pitched at 4 different levels that year, and 2013 pitched at a couple of levels. Made his major league debut last year. Ball 4. That'll load him up for Altuve. Not what John was thinking about when he came in the ball game, to have to face Altuve with the bases loaded. Altuve becomes the tying man in this game. And Mike Maddox will go out and talk to John Edwards.
Yeah, Marisnik has had good luck against the Rangers. He had a big game yesterday, but you definitely want to get him. Kind of like the Rangers did in the 4th inning. They were facing a similar situation. There was men on 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. Yovani got Marisnik to pop up so that he didn't have to face Altuve with men on. But this time they're going to have to face him with the bases loaded.
Yep. And you saw Phil Klein, who worked a 3rd of an inning in yesterday's ball game, loosening in the Ranger bullpen just in case. Altuve with 1 career grand slam. Tonight is 2 for 3. Pair of singles. 1 ball, no strikes.
One thing John did after 4 or 5 straight fastballs is he threw him a slider on the first pitch, with probably a good idea. If Altuve got a fastball, he doesn't take too many first pitch fastballs that are strikes. And he also has an extremely high batting average on first pitch strikes that he swings at.
Edwards ready to come back to the plate. And this is high. It's 2-0. The walk, not really something that had been a huge problem for John Edwards. And brain trust for the Rangers, a little bit of concern right now, especially with a guy like Altuve at the plate. Very high, 3 balls, no strikes. John Edwards not able to get that good downward plane going. He's leaving a lot of pitches high out of the strike zone. With Altuve, if you're going to fall behind 3-0, 2-0, 3-0. Maybe a walk isn't the worst thing that can happen when you have a 4-run lead. Ball 4. That forces in a run. Castro comes down the line to score from third. Bases remain loaded with 2 outs. It's now a 5-2 Ranger lead, and George Springer coming up. For Altuve, his first RBI of the season. And Beltre and Chirinos out there talking with John Edwards. And it looks like the skipper is going to go out and get the ball. Well, Edwards comes on, walks Marisnick to load the bases, walked Altuve to force in a run. And Jeff Bannister is going to have to make the call to the bullpen again. It'll be Jeff Klein. He has to come in this situation and put out the fire. Well, Ranger lead has been cut to 5-2. The bases remain loaded to 2 outs in the 6th inning. Klein coming on. We'll tell you about him when we come back on Fox Sports Southwest. Whip around. Tune in every weeknight for highlights, instant analysis, and live look-ins from around the league. A new season of MLB Whip Around is here, weeknights at 6 p.m. on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Phil Klein summoned out of the bullpen into a very delicate situation. The Astros have loaded the bases, forced in a run on a bases-loaded walk. All this happening with 2 outs, and George Springer is going to be the hitter. Phil Klein has already worked in 3 games. This will be his 4th appearance. 11.57 ERA. He has had 2 scoreless innings his last 2 times out. Springer 1 for 3 tonight with a single. Back and out of play for strike 1.
Well, that's what you want to see. Come in and get that first strike. Throw a strike after a couple of walks. A little bit of movement on the ball. Inside corner. Big swing. No results.
Klein, a letter high set. And drops the breaking ball in. 0-2.
Springer must have been looking fastball all the way on that one. Didn't even come close to swinging at that pitch.
Now the 0-2 pitch. Springer's balled a pretty nice one. We'll try it again.
Located that down and away right on the outside corner. Springer just able to get a piece of that one. Phil still in the driver's seat. No balls and 2 strikes. You can try one a little bit farther outside. See if he swings at it. He can try a high fastball up and out of the strike zone. Maybe he'll chase it. He is a little prone to the strikeout, but he's also has the ability to put a charge in it if you make a mistake to him.
I know, Tommy, you've said that you can't really afford to look anything but fastball if you're a hitter in this position.
And sometimes when you do, you just can't lay off that slider down and away. Oh, be careful.
Yeah, that one hung up and in. A ball and 2 strikes to count.
See where he's trying to throw it. You can see Robinson put his glove on the ground down and away to emphasize, make sure you keep this down and maybe a little bit out of the strike zone, but that one just got away from Phil a little bit.
Gonzalez, Marisnick, and Altuve, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. Rangers leading 5-2, but the Astros trying to cut into that lead even further here in the 6th inning. Klein to the plate. 2-2. And this is the pitch now. This is the count. And Phil Klein wants to get George Springer on. You don't want to go 3-2 to let the runners have the advantage of being off and moving with the pitch. Ground ball to short. Elvis to Odor, and that'll do it. So Klein comes in, gets the job done. The Astros do score a run on 2 hits. They leave the sacks full. After 5.5, it is 5-2 Rangers on Fox Sports Southwest. Slam inning brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $600 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. Tonight, the Rangers are hitting for John Duncan from Mesquite. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, John Duncan from Mesquite will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Will Harris, the new hurler on the hill for the Houston Astros. Harris taking over for Joe Thatcher. Got out of the 5th inning. He will face Robinson Chirinos to start things off. And he deals strike 1. Chirinos, fly ball to right, a ground ball to third. Next pitch from Harris. He was chopped down foul.
The Rangers have had some good fortune in this game. Astros have made 3 errors, one right off the bat in the 1st inning. After Adrian's triple, they threw the ball away, let him on the same play come home on the throwing error. And they got a big break in the 5th inning, and the first baseman couldn't handle the throw from the pitcher. That kept that inning alive, allowed a run to score, and then Elvis singled to left field to score 2 runs. Rangers have had 5 runs, but only 1 earned.
Seems like every other game now the Rangers have gotten the breaks, and they've been low-scoring games for the most part, except for the 10-run outburst. But yeah, able to get the job done. Base hit to center field, a high fastball, and Robinson turned that around for a leadoff single.
Well, Robinson's on the board now. Gets his first hit of the season. No doubt about that one. Line shot to center field.
Will Harris, the Astros pitcher, had a pretty good streak going. 17 consecutive scoreless appearances when you go back to August 19th of last year. He left that one up and just above belt high. That is Robinson Chirinos, one of his favored places to swing the bat. And he did not miss that. Here's Leonis Martin. Chopper to the right side. Altuve to second. The return not in time. Leonis trying to take advantage of that first pitch with their men on first. See if he can utilize that hole, but didn't quite get it done. The fielder's choice removes Chirinos. 1 out. Martin, a stealing threat at first. And Carlos Peguero coming up. Peguero doubled his last time up. This is his first appearance in a Ranger uniform. Snap throw to first. Will Harris, the 30-year-old from Houston. He was claimed off waivers by the Astros this past November. He appeared with the Diamondbacks out in Arizona the last couple of years. Grew up in Slidell, Louisiana.
Well, Leonis on first base, he's had a little tough time with the bat, but now that he's on first base, he's probably going to try to make up for it if he can get a jump, try to steal a base right here. Astros are well aware of his prowess on the bases. And Harris is going to continue to throw over there to try to keep him from doing that.
The Rangers have not had the opportunity to break loose their running game. The only time they have tried, Elvis Andrus was shot down trying to steal. Leonis stepping off that lead. Peguero takes a strike. outfield, or I should say the infield, is shading Figueroa around to the right side. And again, Martin drawing some attention from Harris. In on the fist, and Figueroa fights it off foul. 0-2. Figueroa just joining the ball club today. 28. Big guy at 6'5", goes at 260 pounds. Got him swinging. Harris able to elevate. Figueroa couldn't get on top of it. 2 gone.
Here's a look at the high fastball.
Well, Harris with his first strikeout. Now he'll face Adrian Beltre, who is 2 for 3 tonight. You had a little cutting action to it, and you're not able to make contact. Beltre tripled in the first, doubled in the third. And again, Harris keeping a very close eye on Leonys Martin. Take a look at the Coors Light Cold Hard Fact for you. Adrian Beltre playing in his 145th consecutive game. It's the 4th longest streak that's active in the major leagues. Evan Longoria at 247, Freddie Freeman at 171. Yeah, Cedis Escobar. There's only three players that have longer streaks. The Cold Hard Fact brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light.
Huh?
0-2 to Beltre. Castro flashing the signs out. Beltre waiting. Chopper right back to Harris. He snags it. And that'll do it for the Rangers. So Texas not able to do anything with a leadoff single. They strand a runner. We're going to the 7th inning. It remains the Rangers 5, the Astros 2 on Fox Sports Southwest. Going the other way with a first inning triple, and he came around to score. And next time up, sliced one the other way. Pulled that into the corner for a double. Adrian 2 for 4 tonight. Meanwhile, Yovani Gallardo 7 strikeouts in his 5 1/3. He got Chris Carter 3 different times. He is the pitcher of record for the Rangers, 5 2/3. A couple of runs on 8 hits, 1 walk, and those 7 strikeouts. And we go to the 7th inning. And here's the 7th inning man, Keone Kela.
Yeah, Keone's 3rd game of the season. He had the memorable jam that he pitched out of in Oakland in his first ball game. That was one of the nice moments of the early part of the season when he was congratulated by all the infielders as he came off the field with a big smile on his face.
Yeah, hard to remember any time that I've seen a celebration like that wasn't a game-ending celebration.
In the middle of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it was after the
it was such a crucial moment of the game, and it was his first outing, and he had a big smile on his face. It was just kind of a spontaneous reaction, I guess, by the infielders.
Yeah. And this 21-year-old with a big arm, he can really rush it up there. Good young man too, very respectful of his place where he is in the major leagues. He feels like he's very, very fortunate. There's a pitch that he didn't have before last offseason. That's that straight changeup.
That's the pitch that got him out of that famous inning we're talking about. Marcus Semien hit that changeup off the end of the bat to shortstop. Elvis turned it over, and the Rangers got out of that jam.
Call strike 3. Fastball came back to the inside corner, and Jed Lowry left standing at home plate like a telephone pole by the side of the road. Now here is our AT&T U-verse rewind. There's the pitch that Tom was talking about. Simeon, a ground ball to Elvis that turned into a 6-3 double play, and the celebration between first and the mound. Everybody happy for Keone Kela. That was a great moment. Now one gone, and Chris Carter skies one way up in the air to right field, not carrying very far. Carlos Peguero waiting for it to come down, puts it away, and there are 2 outs very quickly. Sit down and check in with Emily Jones. She has a little more on Keone Kela.
Well, I know you guys talked about it in Oakland, the relationship between he and Prince Fielder, but it is quite evident in the clubhouse that relationship is continuing to grow, and how much Keone looks up to Prince. He calls him P and says that their similar backgrounds caused them to bond very early in spring training, and Prince has felt an obligation to him because of that to kind of take him under his wing and lead him in the right way through this whole major league process. And you can tell just how much it means to have a guy like Prince Fielder take him under his wing to a rookie like Keone Kela.
Yeah, and you're right, Em, and he is very appreciative of that relationship too. It's just it's kind of neat. It's almost like a father-son relationship, and yet these guys are fighting for the same thing at the big league level. A good off-speed pitch, and Kela out on top. No balls, 2 strikes.
About a 95-mile-an-hour fastball would look like a curveball.
Yep.
81-mile-an-hour curveball. Good stuff. And you can come in a game and throw in the mid-90s and then have a couple of pitches to go along with it, especially the good changeup that he has.
And pulled into right field, a base hit. Luis Valbuena got an off-speed pitch that probably caught a little too much of the plate, and he was able to bang it into right field softly, but enough for a single.
Yeah, it's the same curveball, pretty much the exact same pitch, but you're right, Buzz, 0-2. It's probably not exactly where Keone wanted to throw it. Not a terrible pitch, but 0-2, maybe a little bit out of the strike zone, and he would have missed it.
And that's one of those ones where you throw him back-to-back breaking balls. The second one has to be better.
Yeah.
For not to get hit.
Yeah. He'd seen it right before it, and he waited just long enough. Not like it was a rocket or anything, but enough to be a base hit.
1 on, 2 outs. Here's Jason Castro, who's had a big night, and Kela will send a calling card over to Valbuena. Castro has singled and doubled, scored a run. He's 2 for 3. One ball, no strikes. Castro, a 27-year-old, came up originally with the Astros back in 2010. He was their first-round pick in the 2008 draft, 10th selection overall. Two 2-0 now, and Chirino's going to go out and have a little chat with Keone Kela. Kela grew up in the Seattle, Washington area. Peering in for the sign, he's ready. 2-0 pitch. And there's just a high fastball that's thrown into a fastball hitter in a fastball count. He couldn't catch up.
No.
You hear pitchers and pitching coaches talk about the ball coming out of a guy's hand well, and that you get that situation, you know the ball's coming out real well. Seems like it almost explodes out of the pitcher's hand when you get that. 2-2 the count. Astros have out-hit the Rangers tonight 9-7. Well, the Rangers have outscored the Astros 5-2. Left center field, Leonis Martin on the run, tracks it down, and that will do it for Houston. No runs, a hit, one left. Stretch time at the ballpark. Rangers 5, Astros 2. Now let's join Chuck Morgan as he introduces God Bless America.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Will you please rise as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the world. Performing God Bless America tonight is Melissa Zaya.
To the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet.
A great crowd on hand tonight, 36,833, including our own John Rodigan and his lovely family. Well, you talk about a busman's holiday.
Wife Kathy, daughter McKenna.
Yeah.
Enjoying the ball game. How'd they get those seats? John must know somebody.
I think he does. He must be in the front row. Prince Fielder starting off the Rangers' 7th inning. Texas on top 5-2. Fielder going the other way with authority. Deep left field. Back is Rasmus, and he gloves it over his head. Outstanding play by a former center fielder in Colby Rasmus. He got a great jump on it and took extra bases away from Prince Fielder.
We've been talking about Rasmus the last couple of days. He's a good ball player. The only knock against him, I guess, would be sometimes he has trouble making contact at the plate, but he can run. As you said, Buzz, he's a center fielder. He can run the ball down. He's got a good arm. Runs the bases, hits for some power. Been with a number of teams, so there's been a number of teams banking on his potential. But he did get a very nice jump, and he didn't shy away from the wall at all. Remember the one David Murphy caught like that, bounced off that wall.
Asmolinski going to right center field. Marisnik in a hurry. He runs it down at the track.
Man.
Now, we've talked a little bit in this series about the speed of the outfield. Marisnik and Springer, and throw Rasmus in there. They can cover some ground, and they've shown it here in the 7th inning.
Yep, 2 nice plays. Marisnik went all the way to the wall in right center field. He must have either been playing pretty deep or gotten a good jump on that ball, because it really wasn't a high fly. It was more of a line drive. Well hit by Jake to right center field.
So 2 long, loud outs. And here's Mitch. Moreland takes a breaking ball from Harris for strike 1. Moreland tonight has been on all 3 times. He's singled and doubled. He's also reached on an error. Going to take the ball the other way and swung through it. He is 0-2. Again, the Astros going to an exaggerated shift with Moreland up there. And the base is empty and 2 outs. The ball bounces about a 53-footer. The two hits that Mitch had tonight, almost identical as far as the line is concerned. At right center field, just a shade toward right from dead center. The double got all the way to the wall and was a little bit higher. That pitch up and in, and it hit. Harris trying to cut one, and he cut it too far inside. Mitch is aboard with 2 outs. The Rangers have been hit a lot this year already. I mentioned that Odor had been hit 3 times. And Mitch has gotten plunked here tonight.
Ball hit him right in the elbow. Didn't even flinch.
That's the 7th time that Ranger hitters have been hit. Missed the 6th game of the year.
Here comes about 8 throws over to first base now with Delino DeShields pinch running at first base.
DeShields playing against his former team, or at least the organization that he was with. Got as high as Double-A, did Delino.
Probably met most of them in spring training, I would guess, as a high #1 draft choice. Probably spent some time in big league camp.
Elvis, who had a 2-run single his last time, takes a bit low for ball 1.
Harris threw over a lot when Leonis was at first base. He also was pretty quick to the plate. Not a lot of wasted movement. Like a tough guy to get a jump on.
Delino, a pretty good lead now. A little lean towards second. He's on the move. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second is late. And Delino DeShields with the first stolen base of his Ranger career and of the Major League career. Or Delino DeShields.
He got him that time with a leg kick. He picked the right pitch to go on. A number of pitches he had a little slide step, but this one he lifts his leg up, takes a little bit of time, and Delino stole it easily. He just outran that whole play. And that's exactly what the Rangers are looking for. Someone late in the ball game that you can put in a game. Keep mentioning Craig Gentry, but that was Craig Gentry's role sometimes as well.
A play off the bat of Elvis. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, I think what impressed the Rangers too in the spring is the last 2 weeks or so, DeShields started swinging the bat pretty well. Hit safely. I think it was 7 of the last 8 ball games in which he played. Pretty good clip.
Sure.
1-2 to Elvis. Gonzalez drops it near the bag, recovers, and throws him out. Well, the side retired. A little excitement, though, as Delino DeShields gets his first Major League stolen base. We go to the 8th, 5-2 Rangers.
Give it to Doris Cranford. She turned 90 years young today. Longtime Ranger fan out here with 32 of her closest friends and family. You having a good time, Doris?
Amen. I am having a great time.
All right, well, congratulations. Here's the shirt. Happy 90th. And I understand you have some big plans afterwards. What's that?
Yeah, well, they say they're going to take me out to Cotton Eye Joe in someplace.
All right. Well, enjoy that. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Go Rangers.
Go Rangers. There you go, Doris. Way to go. Cotton Eye Joe and Buzz, Tom.
All right. Gotta love it.
Oh, goodness. Well, we headed the 8th, and we had the 7th inning man. That's Keone Kela. Now we have the 8th inning man. That would be Sean Tollison, taking over on the hill, and he'll face the bottom third of the Astros order, Rasmus, Gonzalez, and Marisnik. Rangers leading 5-2. Rasmus' first ball swinging. And a towering pop foul that's back into the seats and well out of play.
Well, Sean threw the ball great for the Rangers last year. He's off to a nice start this year. He's pitched a couple of times. No walks, 3 strikeouts. Throwing the ball great. Solid fastball, 92, 94 miles an hour. Hard breaking ball, and that developing changeup that's an excellent pitch for him right now.
Worked yesterday also, and Rasmus trying to bunt his way aboard, and bunts through it.
That changeup was so good he couldn't bunt it.
That's got to look like to a hitter that it has to look just like a fastball, because whether they try to bunt or swing at it, they're swinging at it like it's fastball.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't get there.
That one looked like right at the end it dropped about 4 or 6 inches.
One ball and 2 strikes. Asmus 1 for 3 tonight. Had a 4th inning double. Other than that, he was flying out a couple times. John Towson, the Allen, Texas native. Baylor University ex. Popped up by Rasmus.
Good fastball in. That really tied him up. Tied by the swing. Rasmus has shown the ability to hit that inside pitch a couple of times in this series, but not that time. He got jammed.
Let's take time for a Mazda game break right here. Here's Rick Renner. Rick. All right, Rick, thank you. Looks like Kansas City trying to show all the folks that picked them to have 75 wins or so this year that they're not right.
That's just remarkable. All the experts were down on Kansas City, and some of the experts that can lose a lot of money with their forecasts had them winning in the 70s. Just really remarkable for a team that went to the World Series. I guess they figure losing James Shields, and some people think they have a suspect offense. A lot of other people, I think us included, Buzz, feel like they have a pretty nice developing offense.
Not bad.
So we'll see.
Marwin Gonzalez hit that line drive to center, and Martin got a great jump on the ball. He's playing left center and really made it look like a fairly easy play, and it was anything but. 2 up, 2 away. Here's Jake Marisnick taking strike 1. Marisnick has popped out, flied out, and walked tonight.
And a quick out here, Sean. You get an inning in with less than 10 pitches, and that's a nice bonus for the manager. If the bullpen guy can come in and throw 10 or 11 pitches, you feel pretty confident you can use him the next day.
And Marisnick, though, going to make that a little more difficult. A looping single to right field with 2 outs. I'm going to bring up Jose Altuve one more time.
That was a pretty good breaking ball. Marisnick was fooled by it. Just reached out, slapped it into right field. Reached out with one hand, really. Marisnick has shown, against the Rangers anyway, the ability to find holes and get base hits. Get that right off the end of the bat.
Over the 2nd straight game now, the Astros with 10 base hits. They trail in this ball game 5-2. Jose Altuve has 2 of those 10 hits, 2 for 3. Also has had a bases loaded walk. And he takes a strike.
A lot of strikes from Sean. Only 1 ball today out of 8 pitches.
Altuve, the Silver Slugger winner, second baseman last year in the American League. Jake Marisnick, the runner at first. 2 away in the top of the 8th inning. Andrus Odor, the fielder's choice, ends the 8th inning. No runs a hit, 1 left. 7.5 in the books. Rangers 5, Astros 2. Years. You can watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, widgets, and more. Every night on every device. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Now we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the veteran left-hander Tony Sipp has come into the ball game for the Astros. Sipp signed as a free agent by the Astros last May. Appeared in 56 ball games after that. Did a nice job at 3.38 ERA. His work against the Indians in the opening series for the Astros. He had a hold in that Astros win. Rougned Odor will be the first Ranger hitter he faces here tonight. He did not waste any time. Went upstairs. Tried to get that sip fastball with no success. Odor 0 for 2, a walk, a strikeout. He does have an RBI tonight. Facing the 31-year-old left-hander Tony Sipp from Pascagoula, Mississippi. One and one. Tony Sipp played 1 year of baseball at Clemson University. Rougned pulls one deep down the right field line. It's hooking and just going foul. Rougned able to reach out almost one-handed and got pretty good wood on it. Just couldn't keep it fair. Could have rattled around there for a while had it caught the chalk. But 1 and 2 now. That will even the count. Sipp, okay is the sign. The Echo pitch tracker showing you the dispersal of the previous pitches. And high and away. The count goes to 3 and 2. Odor trying to start off the Ranger 8th inning by getting aboard. Robinson Chirinos, the Ranger catcher, waits to be next. Sipp with a payoff pitch. That's going to stay fair down the right field line, and it will rattle around in that corner. Into second with a leadoff double is Rougned Odor.
They had to reach for an off-speed pitch that hooked foul. That time it looked like a fastball on the inside half of the plate. He turned on it, hit it right like you want to hit it. Right in a sweet spot, inside corner, and ripped it.
Rougned with his 3rd hit of the year. He has 2 doubles and a home run. Out there at second with nobody out. And Robinson Chirinos will face Tony Sipp. Rougned Odor, that was his first hit against Sipp in 4 matchups with the left-hander. 8th hit of the night for the Rangers. Astros infielders now at Valbuena at third, Carter at first, playing in, expecting Chirinos to be up there bunting. Robinson puts down a good one. Sipp's only play is to first. And Altuve covering. Sacrifice goes 1-4. On to third goes Rougned Odor, and he's there for the top of the order.
Yeah, that's about as good of an example of a fundamentally sound sacrifice bunt as you'll see right there from Robinson. Squared around, the head of the bat out, and bunted it right where he wanted to bunt it, down the third baseline. Pitcher was able to field it, but didn't have any play at third. Threw a 90-mile-an-hour strike to Altuve, almost knocked him over at first base, but made the play. But now the infield will have to play in.
Yeah, we'll see if Leonis Martin can take advantage of that infield near him. Takes the first pitch outside and in the dirt for ball one.
Go ahead, Buzz.
That's right.
I was just going to say, Leonis is 0 for 4 in the game, so he's looking to do something right here with the infield in. A lot of ground balls. Hit one now, you got a pretty good chance that it's going to roll through unless you hit it right at somebody.
Sure do. Well, Leonis Martin looking for his first hit against Tony Sipp. He is 0 for 3 like Rougned Odor was. Nothing in there, 2-0, I should say. Martin checking with Tony Beasley down there at third. Odor listening to what Tony Beasley has to tell him. The third base coach with less than 2 outs will always walk down to the runner and say something to him in case he wants to do that to give him a sign. 2-1 now. Leonis tonight has popped out and grounded out 3 times. Outfield's playing fairly shallow too, so a gapper, Leonis could run for a while. To first, Chris Carter has it. He will make the play at first after looking Odor back to the bag, so Leonis Martin can't get the job done. 2 outs now. It'll be up to Carlos Peguero. Let's go down and check in with Emily Jones again, Em.
Well, fellas, the Rangers and Astros close out this 3-game series tomorrow afternoon here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. Here now is a look at the pitching principles in that one. Dallas Keuchel, some good numbers against the Rangers, but so does Colby Lewis have good numbers against the Astros. 5-1 with a 1.54 ERA. Colby looking to duplicate or better that performance in his season opener against Oakland, guys.
All right, Em, thank you. Carlos Peguero is 1 for 4 tonight. Tony Sipp drops a breaking ball right on the outside corner. Peguero doubled and scored back in the 5th inning. Sipp with that belt high set. The ground ball headed to right field and through, a base hit. Odor scores. Peguero with his first RBI as a Ranger. Texas leads it 6-2.
Oh, there's a big hit right there for Carlos. You want to get that insurance run in. Afraid you're going to leave a man on third base. You got a lefty pitching against you, and you reach out and ground it into right field. Clapped his hands as he got to first base. That's a good feeling right there. Didn't hit it exceptionally hard, but he found a hole, and that's what you're trying to do right there. Put the bat on the ball, make something happen. He had a double to lead the rally in the 5th inning. Scored a run, and now he's driven in a run. So good night for Carlos in his first game for the Rangers.
Got it just by the dive of Jose Altuve, and here's Adrian Beltre. Making strike 1 from Sipp. Adrian coming to life after starting the season 0 for 13. Tonight you saw the triple and double in his first 2 at-bats. 2 for 4. It's that off-speed pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Good look from the upper home run porch. Down the right field line. I assume that's our roving RF camera out there. Beltre.
That was right down the middle of the plate, it looked like. He had his best swing. He just didn't connect. Trying to get that ball in. It was in the center of the plate.
You see Tony Sipp's reaction, too.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty fortunate.
1-2 now. Sipp and Beltre have matched up a few times. Adrian 1 for 3. Left-hander back to the plate. Nubbed foul. Still 1-2. Carlos Peguero has added a very important run for the Rangers, making this a 4-run advantage. He is at first base. In his Ranger debut, a 2 for 5 night. Sipp reading the signs from Castro. And the left-hander ready. And Beltre hanging tough. Mentioned Adrian starting things off with a triple to right field. Just reached out and poked that out there off of Roberto Hernandez. And the next time up, pitch on the inside corner. And he scalded one down the left field line for a double. Sipp a couple of checks at first. And Beltre sharply hit. Now Altuve flips to Marwin Gonzalez. That'll do it. The Rangers, though, score an important run to get a run on 2 hits and 1 left. We'll go to the 9th inning. It's now the Rangers 6 and the Astros 2. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By AT&T UBERS TV. UBERS has more live TV channels on the go than cable. And by your Texas Ford dealer. The EcoBoost Challenge is on at your Texas Ford dealer. Get to your best in Texas Ford dealer today. 9th inning at Globe Life Park. Rangers leading by 4. And for the second straight game, Ranger closer Neftali Feliz will take over for the 9th inning. George Springer will start things off against Feliz. After appearing in his 3rd ball game, worked yesterday and couldn't get out of the 9th inning.
That's one of those examples, Buzz. People might have said, well, the game didn't matter. The Rangers were way behind. Why did they have to take Neffy out? The reason is so he could pitch today.
Right.
He'd thrown 20 or 21 pitches at that point in time, and it didn't make any sense to keep him in that game. Well, I think it was Phil Klein came in to get the last out. Now Neffy's able to pitch today.
And still not a save situation, but still like your closer to get the taste of whatever bad taste in his mouth he had out of there from yesterday. Yep, Ned Odor handles that, and Springer is the first out here in the 9th inning.
I think in a lot of cases, managers are pretty comfortable bringing their closer into a 4-run game. Generally, you don't see him come into a 5-run game, but they're up and throwing and the team scores the 4th run, they generally go ahead and bring him in.
Feliz gets the first out. Now Jed Lowry will step to the plate. Feliz gave up the 2-run home run in the 9th inning yesterday to Colby Rasmus. Lowry foul tips that first Feliz offering. It is 0-1. Lowry handling the DH chores tonight, 0 for 3 with a walk. Feliz and Lowry matched up against each other on 7 occasions. Lowry has 5 walks. He has 1 for 5, or 2 walks, I should say, and 1 for 5. Feliz pulling the string, and he moves the count to 0-2. Method back to the plate. Pretty good breaking ball. That just dipped a bit low. 1-2 now. He's trying to reestablish himself as one of the premier closers in baseball. Got him swinging. Upstairs at 93, and Lowry didn't have an answer for it. 2 gone.
Lowry's gone down 3 times on strike, so has Carter. If he had 20+ pitches to get 2 outs last night, he's hoping to have under 10 pitches to get 3 outs today to get Carter quickly.
Now Carter, those 3 strikeouts that Tom just told you about, also a fly ball to right. And a breaking ball, just a bit low. Ball 1. Carter 2 out of 3 with a home run against Feliz. Two and nothing. I remember right, that home run that Carter had off Feliz was in Houston. He kind of reached out and almost one-handed it out of the ballpark. 2-1. Strong as he is, though, in the dimensions of Minute Maid,
yeah,
you can understand why.
If it's an off-speed pitch and he lunges for it with his left hand almost and hits it in the air down the left field line to the Crawford seats, that Crawford box, it doesn't take much for a big, strong guy to do that.
High in the air to right field. Long run over for Peguero, but it's back just in the first row. The count moves to 2-2. Crowd on their feet now, 36,833. Trying to help the Rangers close out their first home victory of the year. Neftali Feliz is set. And the pitch. Just missed the outside corner. And Neffy tuning that up to 94. That's good to see.
Yeah, second one at 94.
Echo pitch tracker showing me that last one off the outside corner by a little bit. 3-2 the count.
95.
95 from Feliz.
Yeah, good swing by Carter. Got a little piece of it. I don't know if he'll do it or not, but if he bends in a breaking ball right here, it's going to be the end of the ball game.
Yeah.
Well,
tried to.
Had to throw it for a strike, though.
And Carter not close enough to tempt him to swing. The 2-out walk continues the ball game, brings up Luis Valbuena. Valbuena tonight 1 for 4. Single to right field his last time up. That was in the 7th inning off Yovani Gallardo. Carter not being held on at first. And a base hit by Odor. Carter to second will stop there. Peguero gets the ball back in. Oh, a 2-out walk and a single. 2 aboard with 2 outs for Jason Castro. The same kind of thing happened yesterday. Feliz got 2 quick outs of Gaddis and VR. Then walked Castro. Gave up the 2-run home run to Colby Erasmus. Maristic had an infield single, and that was the end of the line for Feliz. Hopefully he'll be able to deal with Castro effectively here and not have to utilize any more pitches. Castro 2 for 4 tonight. A single and a double. He has scored a run. Changeup drifted a little bit low for ball 1. Castro, along with his 2 hits, has grounded out and flied to center field. 1 ball and 1 strike. Carter getting his lead from second right there at the bottom of your screen. To center field, Leonis Martin in a hurry and makes the catch on the run, and that is a winner. Matthew Fillets, a couple of pounding hearts.